It's going down like this, motherfucker.
This shit is crazy. The following
Nigga get mad. Say, motherfucker, what you mean you ain't gonna let me in this funky joint? Much money I done spent in here, nigga. I knew your mama when she was horn. Huh, baby. Shit, bet I do it over time. Fade that, nigga. Shit. Bar, bet the bar, off time. Shit, boy, I'm trying to make me some money. Boy, I'm hungry as a hog needs slop Jesus. Shit, gotta be a Jesus, cause too many black folks.
For what he has, he says that the only way that we can solve our problem is to unite together among ourselves, among our own kind, clean ourselves up, rid ourselves of the evils that we've become addicted to here in this society, and try and...
Yes, he destroy black boys. 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 If you destroy him as a boy, he'll never become a man.
This ain't loud enough. I'm still trying. This ain't loud enough. I'm still trying. This ain't loud enough. I'm still trying.
I just left a lot in this bitch. I'm finna hit the shop in this shit.
Hey, where are the white women at?
I'm trying to told you.
Hey, where are the white women at?
I'm trying to told you just with Herman, man.
Hey, where are the
No,
white
your
women
mind
at?
is fucked. God damn it, shit.
Hey, where are the white
I'm
women
trying to
at?
told you just with Herman, man.
Well, gotta get a piece of mind. A little like magic. Said if magic.
Joe Beach. He looked down, seen his feet. The nigga went berserk. Killed the monkey. Threw the bat out the window. Start kicking that bitch in the air.
Say anyway, but I will. The way quantum entanglement works is that you can take two particles, quantum entangle them, and then take those two particles and move them at any distance in the cosmos. And let's just say, for example, if you quantum entangle two electrons and you have them spinning in the same direction, and then you take one of those electrons and you shoot that thing out 100,000 light years from the original. If you then rotate the spin on the one electron, if you modify it so that its spin changes, the quantum entangled electron at any distance will simultaneously in no time switch its rotation also, because they're quantum entangled. So these communication systems are taking advantage of this aspect of quantum mechanics that most people can't wrap their heads around, and this is what they're utilizing. It's just the new level of science that affords us the ability to communicate at any distance instantaneously.
You don't understand. It's cool enough just being cool, like I am, chilling.
Group of you together, you never can tell who's who.
I've seen a lot of black guys, Nipsey, but you're overdoing it.
My eye. Plus, I'm in love with a bitch I can't stand.
I mean, TikTok. A lot of the white content creators on TikTok get all of their dances from the black content creators.
You're a philosopher? Yes. You're a philosopher? Yes. You're a philosopher? Yes. Yes, I think very deep. I think very deeply.
Hey, dance with me. Hey, dance with me. Hey, dance with me.
You got to pray to God and tell God your rent due. Any God that didn't know your rent was due ain't God. Damn white boys out there. Most of them is psychopaths and all that. They'll kill your mama's mama. And you decent white folk that still don't know they're racist. What the hell you want here, hunky? Don't know me, want it.
Mean to be rude. I don't mean to be out of line. I mean to be rude. I don't mean to be out of line. I mean to be rude. Mean to be rude. I don't mean to be out of line.
What's all that noise? Oh, that's just daddy. What's
Your lines are still open. Oh shit, you can get it, nigga. You wanna get it?
Come with baggage, just not asking Louis Vuitton.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, that was nice.
I like that.
Bitch niggas, hoe niggas, rich niggas, broke bitch. I told niggas this was on, yeah, right.
The Chinese platform, you already know they don't give a fuck about your black ass. And then
That's the difference when you're my baby. That's how it is when you.
My word, can't be my equal, don't know what you heard.
You got the.
Use a snort cocaine, now I fiend for the check, yeah. Use a snort cocaine, now I fiend for the check, yeah. Use a snort cocaine, now I fiend for the check, yeah.
Schatzi, is it true what they say about the way you people are gifted? Oh, it's true. It's true. It's true. It's true.
I guess you go to the history of European civilizations. 250 years is how long they last before they implode because of their greed, because of their violence, because of an inability to let others be, including themselves. If they didn't have brown and black people to hate, they would hate themselves.
Slapping folks is satisfying. She don't like me, but I didn't know. Guess it was underlying.
Lean and walk, lean, walk, lean, walk.
Baby, I'm a walking dead man, is what they call me when I'm coming. I hit the loot juice and pulls up in the dude. Baby, I'm a walking dead man, is what they call me when I'm. I hit the loot juice and pulls up in the dude. Baby, I'm a walking dead man, is what they call me when I'm coming.
To the east, to the north, to the west, to the south, above, below, and the middle. Greetings. This is Big Pontiac, and welcome to the Chocolate Mountain Show. I am the holder of the infinite sacred ball game that was created by the Hero Twins, and I am that one and only galactic daddy-o welcoming each and every one of you to my galactic patio that reaches from Minnesota to the universe. Well, that's time for me to come on in and say Guten Morning. I'm just drinking water today, but I am smoking this badass wax. Oh, check out that bad shit. That's some bad shit, and it's ready to go. So pop them if you got them. Definitely smoke them if you want them. Oh. Did I bring that shit? I thought I brought that shit up here. Maybe I did. I think I'm gonna put a hit on somebody tonight. If anybody knows the female referee's name in the Timberwolves game tonight, give me her name and I'm putting a hit on her tonight. All them bad calls she made. And you can see when the Timberwolves gave up, but I mean, there was a lot of bad calls. And one thing I have to say is what the way that Gilbert Arenas, he attacks these Euro Asian players the right way. He attacks them the right way. They don't play defense. MVP is supposed to be the person that leads the league in block shots, not just scoring, but he leads the league in a lot of different things. And what do we have? The Euro Asians that have won the MVP with the Joker. Doesn't play defense, can't match up against any big man. They take him off. If it's a dominant big man, he ain't in his face. He had 5 fouls tonight, I think. I think he ended up having 4 or 5 fouls tonight. So he's not an all-around player. He's not a defensive player. None of them are good defensively. I mean, look at Tony Kukoc. That was their biggest thing. Here he is, 6'10", and that was the knock on Dirk Nowitzki. And it wasn't until later in his career he started rebounding. He wouldn't even rebound. Dirk wouldn't even go after rebounds, and he damn near 7 foot. He wouldn't even go after rebounds. 7-footer. So that's why Dirk was never MVP. He didn't deserve it. I think he's MVP of the playoffs, but I don't think he was ever MVP of the league. So what's happening to everybody that's coming to the Chocolate Mountain Show? I appreciate it. So we got MacV Productions, MVP Studios. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it.
Got to have vision.
CWE.
Got to have vision.
Johnny Oggs, what's happening?
Got to have vision.
Rich. Thank you for joining. I agree, it was a good game. It was a good game until the last couple minutes.
Got to have vision.
Marcus the Great, thank you for joining.
Got to have vision.
Yeah, so I was a little disappointed that, but all the Timberwolves have to do is win one of the next 2 games at home, and they've clinched. They've clinched West. So that's all they need to do. And it's like, I was kind of confused because they were showing the records, and I'm like, I know it's 30 teams, so there's 15 on each side. So, they only show the top 10 that can make the playoffs. So there's 5 teams that ain't even contention. Wemby is 20 and 60? Something like that. Wemby only won 20 games. Again, he led his team to the championship last year in France, but they didn't win it. So he's not a winner. And sometimes when you get in those losing things, you might not be able to turn it around, and but I'll still say what I said before about him. He is probably, since Wilt, Ralph Sampson. I have to add Ralph Sampson. But the angles of shots, yeah, it's hard to compare him to many people. The angles of shots that he dunks and just drops, yeah, we haven't seen anything like that since probably Ralph Sampson, and a lot of you didn't get to see Will Chamberlain play. But Ralph Sampson, I mean, some of you might have, but again, Ralph Sampson was the MVP of the college basketball for 3 years running, and it wasn't for Jeff Lamp. And this is how bad they wanted to stop Ralph Sampson. The free throw, the 3-point line was inside the top of the key. It was like a 15-foot shot to make three with Derek Wittenberg and Sidney Lowe. I mean, I remember before Derek Wittenberg broke his ankle, he was killing them, getting threes from, you imagine, 15, 16 feet. That's what the ACC to thwart Ralph Sampson, that's what they did. Now, you got the MAC conference. You look this nigga up, Melvin McLaughlin. I think he's somewhere in Central Michigan's all-time leading scorer. He was the first person I actually knew that was consistent with his three-point shot. But the MAC waited. The rest of the country had put the three-point shot in. I don't think it was in the tournament, though. And they waited for Sugar Mel to get out of school. Because they really said it would have been unfair if they had the three-point shot when Sugar Mel was in the league. He was one of the best shooters ever out of Michigan. And I don't even think they got him as one of the top players coming out of Michigan. I have noticed since I've been watching the NBA that foreign players do not play defensive all. Offensive fundamental, that's all. Yeah, exactly, Daryl. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Daryl. They don't play defense. And again, most of you were exposed to Tony Kukoc. What defense did he play? At damn near 7 feet. 6'10", he more 6'10". I met Tony several times. And I told the story where I was going to whoop Tony's ass, and I'll repeat that story. But I was reffing up we were in, Minnesota, we've got Forest Lake. I think it's Lake Forest, Chicago. I get the two mixed up. It's either Lake Forest or Forest Lake, whatever it's called. It's one of the two. We were reffing there. And I had Tony's son, I think it was a 5th grade game. And it was like getting close, and the dude traveled. I called traveling. I heard a voice behind me like, that's not traveling, that's not traveling. I run down to the other end, and this motherfucker, I didn't even know it until I turned around. I hear this motherfucker, and I was about to get in his ass. I mean, I was a lot younger. This is about 20 plus years ago. So I was a lot younger and feisty, and I was about to whoop his ass. Because I turned around, this motherfucker all on me. I was like, man, I was about to tackle him, get him down, and then get that work in. But the coach ran over there before. And he apologized to me. And what was cool is every time I would see him after that, he always spoke to me. His wife was like, I got him in check today. You ain't got to worry about it. He'd come over and shake my hand. He apologized. He was wrong. He just got caught in emotion. Hey, Cameroon, Reborn, Amaroon Khan. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it.
Got to have vision.
Let me go through. I forget. So everybody, welcome to the Chocolate Mountain Show. If you don't know who I am your host, Flint Pontiac. And so, when you go on the Chocolate Mountain, you got to catch the train, electric train, all the way to the Galactic Patio. And the Galactic Patio is in the middle of the mountain. And I know you guys won't mind joining me while we do the... And there's only one rule.
Don't touch my...
Leave that F-150 Lightning alone. But if you do... So who do you think would be the biggest upset? I would say if OKC didn't make the semis, I think that would be a disappointment. As good as seasons they had, I think that would probably be one of the biggest disappointments. OKC doesn't make the playoffs. I mean, not make the playoffs, but lose early. And I lost a big bottle of glue in here. I don't know. Where's my glue? Must be back there. But to me, that would be the biggest one. Jeffrey Lang, what's happening? Well, you know, I want some money off UConn.
Vision.
I want UConn. UConn won and nothing else matters. We are always the best, and that's a fact. Well, if we look at the last, because one dude was saying, what did Hurley say, that we dominated for the last 30 years. But if you think about that, in the last 30 years, they've almost won it 5 years. Like 5 times in 30 years, they've won it. And that's the average. If you look at, every 5 years in 30 years, which still doesn't add up. But in the last 20 years, at least, we can say that they've been the dominant team, at least the last 20 years. They have definitely been, winning it 6 times in 20 years is still phenomenal. Remember UCLA with John Wooden, I think he won 10 years straight. Yeah, because he won from the time he had Jabbar until Marcus Johnson. And what was the other dude? The light skin, Richard Washington. Do y'all remember Richard Washington? Look up Richard Washington. Let's look Richard Washington up. Y'all probably don't even remember Richard Washington. Let's see if they show him. Oh, here he goes. Richard Washington. I bet y'all don't remember. He was smooth. He was smooth. This is Richard Washington. I think he wore number 31 too. Right. He was with KC. He was with OKC. He was with OKC. Still 31 though. Still number 31. That's somebody else. Right, let's get back here. Here he is. Here he is. He was a bad boy. I like Richard Washington. I really did. He was one of my favorite college players. Damn, I can start talking about a bunch of these mugs. There's a young Spencer Haywood. His Chet Walker that played with the Bulls. Oh, Bingo Smith. I know y'all don't know nothing about Bingo Smith. A lot of y'all got these jerseys. These the Bingos. I call them the Austin Cars. Austin Carr was one of their stars too. Matter of fact, people don't realize Austin Carr, I think he has one of the high. Oh, I got to show him. I got to put a big picture of him. This is Maurice Stokes, St. Francis, All-American, top draft choice. I want to say he played for the Pistons. No, the Royals. He played for the Cincinnati Royals. Rookie of the year his freshman year. His second year, Euro Asian flipped him on his head on purpose. He went under him, undercut him, and he landed on his head, and they gave him what's called the sleeping disease. Sleeping disease. This man's 6'8", all man, and the guy never was convicted for attempted murder. He flipped him, purposely took his legs out and flipped him. And they ain't take him to the hospital. They put him on the plane where he lost consciousness. It's a movie where about Jack Timon. Had to take care of him. And here's the man. This is one of the best nicknames of all people. This is Roger Brown, the man with 1,000 moves. I don't know if y'all hip to this. This is Jalen Rose's daddy, Jimmy Walker. Played with the Pistons. He denied Jalen. They say he was only 6'3". I thought he was a little taller. But this is Jalen Rose's daddy, Jimmy Walker. He was one of the last. I guess I was slightly wrong. Well, not really. Like when the NIT was popular, he was probably the last big star. Now, Dean Merringer was the MVP then when Marquette did not want to go to. Marquette turned down the NCAA and played in NIT. And Dean the Dream Merringer. But yeah, this is Jalen Rose's daddy, Jimmy Walker, Providence University. If y'all didn't know that. Let me see anybody else. This ain't Eugene Banks. Oh, yeah. He was a higher recruit than Magic, y'all. Eugene Banks and Albert King was higher recruits than Magic. Make that make sense. Duke wanted him. Duke didn't even look at Magic. Magic wanted to go to UCLA. And UCLA wanted Albert King and Eugene Banks. They had them over Magic. Let's see. Anybody else y'all might be hip to? Oh, and this is a cat. I should know his name, but this is Eastern League. This is the CBA. He's a Chicago player for the CBA. If y'all not hip to that. Let me see. Is this Sweetwater? Oh, Sweetwater Clifton playing for the Pistons. Sweetwater Clifton that played for the Pistons, famous for the Globetrotters. His movie's pretty good. Look up his movie. His movie is pretty good. I can talk about all these hoop players. This looks like another jersey from the CBA, the Jets. This has to be another jersey from the CBA. Now, I know a lot of y'all, when you look at the all-time ball handlers, but you can't leave him out. He is top 2 or 3. I would say, I don't even know if I could put Isaiah Thomas over him. This is probably the greatest ball handler of all time. I put him number 1, Isaiah number 2, and Curly Neal number 3. But this guy right here is definitely probably the best ball handler of all time. Everything you saw Curly Neal, or you still see the Globetrotters, he invented. But, it's hard for me to put people over Pistol Pete, too. So I'll put him 1A and Pistol Pete 1B. Him 1A and Pistol Pete 1B. I don't know. These old names, man, I could just... Now, this is one sorry individual here. He had no talent. No talent. If it wasn't for the Globetrotters, he wouldn't have, I don't know what he'd end up being, but he's a joke. I would never buy his jersey. Look at what Connie Hawkins says. He tried to go to the Rucker Park. Globetrottering. Yeah, you can't Globetrotter at the Rucker. You had to play real ball, and he couldn't play real ball. Oh, here's the other one. Albert King. Magic Johnson's a Hall of Famer. Albert King ain't no Hall of Famer. But I will say this. I saw him play in high school, and I thought he was ready. Felipe Lopez and this cat was definitely ready. Again, he's only 6'7", but I thought him going to college brought his game down. I thought he was ready. He was ready, and he never really, that potential he had, they thought he was going to be better than his brother because he was playing pros, like 8th, 9th grade, he was playing pros. So they really thought he was going to be better. But him and Felipe Lopez were 2 of the people that I thought got worse going to college. I thought I don't know. I think his skill was so high that playing college competition just wasn't good enough for him. That's what I thought. Here's Earl Monroe. It's probably a picture I cut out the yearbook. I had so many pictures, I fucked her yearbook up. What we got here? Old players. Michigan State. What was this? And if those of you didn't know, Jackie Robertson played basketball and football and baseball at UCLA, if y'all didn't know that. This Texas Western's at Lacey. Just trying to see players that you guys wouldn't know of. That was Zelmo Beatty. Zelmo Beatty here. If y'all never heard of him. Let's see. Cats, this hoopers that y'all might have heard of. Jim Brown was bad. Jim Brown played he played basketball at Syracuse. He played football at Syracuse, and he played lacrosse, being an All-American lacrosse player. Trying to see any of these old players. Back down memory lane, and then here's Frosty. You know, I really think this was the biggest sacrifice for Michael Jordan. There were there were actually 3 sacrifices for Michael Jordan. They drowned a girl that he was dating. They drowned her. I mean, the way they describe it, a flash flood. That's how they describe. That's how they describe how the girl. So that was the first sacrifice for Michael Jordan. This was probably the second. He was probably killed because of Michael Jordan, because I think his skill level, but it's funny, like all the dimensions I go through, there's no dimensions where he made it. Like he gets killed in every dimension. It's like he's one dude that never got to see his potential. But yeah, Frosty was a motherfucker. Oh, let's see. Where am I? Hey, Joey, if I didn't say, did I say what's up to Joey? Yeah, I did. Okay. Jamal Crawford. Wow. Now, again, the way, like Jamal Crawford comes from a long line of, and you know, he's the like beating people on the dribble, like let me see, how do I would compare him to a bigger Isaiah. That's the best way I could say it. Crawford was a bigger Isaiah. Yeah, bigger Isaiah. Change directions real quick behind his back, just as easy. Like a lot of people, like a lot of people got to lean. Like a lot of folks, check this out. A lot of folks, when they go behind their back, they got to lean this way and then go behind their back. That Isaiah and Crawford didn't have to do that. And that Juju girl, that Juju girl from USC, she has that same kind of ability where she can just stand straight up and just go behind her back. Like you don't know she going behind her back. A lot of dudes give you that tell though. Right hand dribblers, they want to do this and then they want to go back this way when they go behind their back. But Crawford and Isaiah could do it like straight at you. Like I watched Isaiah come into a gym at halftime and score 50. And he probably had 11 to 12 assists. But he had 50. He had a motor that just unbelievable motor. And again, nothing but layups, He wasn't no jump shooter, nothing but layups. And he my size. I met him, like I said, I met him in 8th grade. PJ Allen. Oops. And I never have to worry about his.
My bitches. You saying you can't control your bitches? What?
So yeah, he's up there too. This is just Bing. I think this is Bing. In this Bing. Yeah, this is just Bing, I think. Yeah, just Bing. I think it was Bing. Yeah, just Bing. I looked that up on Bing. That's all, just Bing. But Pinterest got a lot of the old players too. But Maurice Stokes, that movie should be made and show how they purposely hurt him. And they Jack Timon and him, they did make a movie because Jack Timon became his guardian. But they tried to say, he had sleeping sickness. No, he was, dude attempted to kill him. And then very racist, it's very racist back then. And they attempted to kill him. Back then, when hasn't it been racist? It's like talking about Bob about politics. Like they really believe that Trump can come in and be a dictator. Like that's really what my mother's like. Well, you want to dictate? That's what these liberals is telling us, everybody. That what the alternative is, you're gonna get a dictator. How could he become a dictator? Please explain that to me. There's no way he could do it. Executive orders, ain't no executive orders gonna be carried out where you a dictator. You are commander in chief, but come on. It's just I look at Trump the same way as Reagan. They gonna let motherfuckers make money. That's what they tend to do. Republicans, people don't understand it. Democrats want to put social programs together. That's been the Democratic way, to get bread to everybody through social programs. Republicans say, fuck them programs. Let's just give the opportunity to everybody to make bread. And it doesn't always happen like that, but that's the premise. And I mean, if you didn't make bread under Ronald Reagan, you was a motherfucking bum. And I bet it wasn't no homeless people when Ronald Reagan was president because everybody was making money. Miami got built with Ronald Reagan. And Ronald Reagan was like, we're decayed. He was like, hey, everybody needs cane. They need guns. America needs cane. Let it come in. But Ronald Reagan brought that prejudice shit back too. Ronald Reagan went around the grassroots and said, it's okay to call them niggas again. It's okay to be better than them again. Reconstruction type of talk. But yeah. So what we got, the world of debauchery. Oh man, last night Corey Holcomb be tripping. It's funny about Corey Holcomb, but Corey Holcomb be what is this? Let's see if we can get this in. Now, what is this? This is Philadelphia, ain't it? Yeah, I saw this earlier. Multiple people shot during an Ed Festival in Philadelphia. I thought this was this last night? I thought this was last night. At least 3 people have been shot and 5 have been arrested after a shooting occurred at the Ed Al-Fitr event in West Philly. I thought this was yesterday, though. This says today's for this. It says 6 hours ago. Okay, maybe that's when I saw it. I saw this earlier. Local sources said the incident occurred during a festival. Around 1,000 people had gathered to celebrate the holiday near Wallazine Avenue. Officers were already at the event, writing tickets for nearby cars when the gunshots were heard, the police commissioner said. Gunfire erupted in two factions within the park, noting they had 30 shots. They heard 30 shots. An officer then engaged a 15-year-old male who had a weapon. The police officer fired, striking the teen in the shoulder and the leg. 22-year-old male was shot in the stomach, though he's believed to have been struck in the initial gunfire exchange. Another juvenile was shot in the hand. A total number of victims and condition is currently unknown, though police said there were no fatalities. The fire department that one person was taken to Children's Hospital. 4 people have been taken into custody. The motive of the shooting was not immediately clear. SWAT units arrived at the scene. Okay, here we go. Where SWAT units arrived at the scene, and shortly after the shooting began, police also spotted trying to document and collect evidence from the crime scene. Debris was strewn across from the Clara Muhammad Square. Claire Muhammad, was that Claire Muhammad? Isn't that Elijah Muhammad's ex-wife or Farrakhan's wife? Farrakhan's wife. Isn't it Claire Farrakhan's wife? Anyway, Commissioner Bethel said a young girl had been accidentally struck by a police vehicle during authorities' rapid response. Wow. And broke her leg. Wow. That wasn't no accident. Clearly, we send our prayers to her and her family, he said. This is not intended purpose. We will make sure they're following up with her and her family. Yeah, they're gonna sue. They're gonna offer them bread, so they ain't gonna sue them. They're just gonna offer them bread. So I'm sure others will be making bigger reports. Well, let's see this brother got to say. This brother's the police chief. You know they like to have the melanated police chief.
And so we're going to be very broad in our conversation today. But at 2:30 today, there was an after Ramadan celebration here at the park. We had about 1,000 individuals out there, and things were going well. We had a detail assigned to this event, and they were working the outsides. During that time period, they were writing tickets. There was tickets. Cars were parking on the gas station behind us, and they were writing tickets. At some point, they hear a large volley of gunfire. They say approximately 30 gunshots. What we do know is there appear to be 2 factions within the park who are now exchanging gunfire. As the officers start to deploy into the park, they observe 3 males and a female running, and they stop those individuals, and we recover 4 weapons. At that same time, we have one of our officers who was assigned to the area engage a 15-year-old male who has a weapon. She fires, and that male receives a gunshot to his shoulder and his leg.
Wow. Well, I'm sure others will report on this and have a lot more to say about it, but, I reported first. But I'll say it's interesting about Corey Holcomb because Corey Holcomb gets roughly 10 to 15,000 people. That's why I don't come on Tuesdays, unless it was sports. I think last Tuesday I came on just because of the games. But unless it's the games, I don't fuck around on Tuesday because most motherfuckers is watching Corey. Again, Corey has between 10 and 15,000 people every Tuesday. So you got a lot of balls to go up against him because that's the Corey Holcomb hour, 2 hours. So that's why I don't even fuck with that. There was a couple things I did want to show. And I was just looking at it. Let's go here. Okay, I want to show this. This is local debauchery. Local debauchery. I got a couple local stories that is interesting. Okay, let's go back. Now, one thing that they're going to say in this that is worth noting for sure, they're going to say that he's the first one to bring fentanyl here. But not saying that, there's no drugs that come into America that the government doesn't know about. I mean, any big drug dealer has always worked with the government. I mean, it's just the way it's done. And then they say he's the first one to bring fentanyl here. I thought the pharmaceutical companies brought fentanyl here. But, again, let's see what they say.
U.S. District Court in Minneapolis. A federal judge calling a gang leader one of the instigators in what has become a health and safety crisis. Prosecutors believe Montez Brown is the first gang member to distribute illegal fentanyl in the city. And this afternoon, he was sentenced to the maximum allowed under federal law. In a story you're seeing first on 5 tonight, Jay Coles gives us an inside look at what the judge calls the gang wars in Minneapolis.
Damn.
Federal prosecutors showed these photos of Montez Brown to support his guilty.
God damn, what is this nigga wearing? What is this nigga wearing? God damn, what the fuck is you got on? Oh, you too tight wearing shirt, motherfucker. God damn. Oh, this is some funny shit. This shit's got Riddicar wrote all over it, but let's go.
Plea to racketeering conspiracy charges along with illegal drug and gun trafficking. Brown was arrested a year ago with nearly 10,000 fentanyl pills, a machine gun and a handgun with switches, and a stack of money. Prosecutors told the court Brown is a top leader in the Highs gang, which created an open-air drug market along West Broadway.
Okay. Let's break this down. Okay. How is it they just happened to catch him with all this? You see what I'm saying? Like what is the timing without a CI, without a snitch? What is the timing that he gonna have all this money on him and they gonna get all this? Like they just the perfect one time he got in his car, they were sure that he had money in this on him. Do you understand that? What is the possibility that this major level dude is going to get caught with all this on him? He would have somebody else bring this shit. Come on now. Again, this shows that he's probably an agent. That's what this shows. This looks like all set up to me. All neatly wrapped. It's all neatly wrapped, and you just caught him. This says agent to me. This is just why you got $10,000 on you. I mean, it's just this doesn't make sense. This who would take this much out? Like you're not selling all this to one person. One person would want it bagged up like this. So, yeah, this is fishy. This is very fishy. But let's go.
North Minneapolis.
Everyone in Minnesota should be aware of the harm that these gangs are inflicting on our communities.
I like it. Prosecutors say Brown is believed to be the first gang member to bring fentanyl to Minneapolis for illegal distribution. It's a drug the Minnesota Health Department blames for 92% of the more than 1,000 opioid-involved deaths across the state in 2022.
And the volume of fentanyl that these defendants have brought to Minnesota is extraordinary.
From the bench, federal judge Nancy Brazel said, quote, gangs are a public health crisis and gang wars have not only caused exponential trauma on the north side, but across all of Minneapolis, and it's time to stop it. Brown's gang, called the Highs, cover an area north of West Broadway, and the Lows, the south side of the avenue. Prosecutors say Brown encouraged younger gang members to carry out shootings against the rival Lows.
If you take on this kind of activity, fentanyl, shooting, firearms, trafficking, you're going...
See, look at the names. Just look at the names of these gangs. This just shows you the artificialness of it. The highs and the lows. Like Prince's sister used to be like on where her house used to be. I know she don't live there no more, but it was considered in the lows. And the lows go from like 1 to about 20. And then you've got, what they consider high is 20 to damn near 80. Damn to Brooklyn Park or Brooklyn Center, I forget. But it's it's just, it tells you that this is controlled. As I said before, one thing that they did, and this can't be denied. This can't be denied. When like right now, they don't even call the police anymore. And I'm gonna show you another story after this one. They don't even call them police anymore. They've changed the name because police is a bad word. It's like people don't remember the black and white cars was taken away a long time ago. And they recently, in the last 20 years, brought them back. But in the late 60s and the 70s, they got rid of black and white cars because there was police abuse. the black and white cars were considered part of police abuse. But I'm gonna let him finish.
Going to face serious federal prison time.
U.S. Attorney for Minnesota Andy Luger.
And what's his name?
Says the judge.
Hey, he looks like one of them people.
Judge's remarks calling it exponential trauma is not overstated.
We've been in the community talking to residents, talking to community leaders who are desperate for the kind of peace that they deserve.
Now, prior to sentencing, Brown told the judge he's changed over the past year. He's been in jail awaiting sentencing, and he apologized to the court, seeking a lighter sentence. But in the end, the judge, Kevin, imposed the maximum, as you mentioned, 19 and a half years in prison.
But again, the feds believe Brown was the first to bring fentanyl to
That's what they said in open court.
How can you prove that? You can't prove that. You can't prove that. That's propaganda. That's propaganda. No doubt propaganda. Again, they gotta look like they doing something. These. What the hell? Why ain't they here? I know I looked this up. Let's see. It might just take me a minute to find it. Here we go. This is the second story. And I'm going to keep saying this. Police gonna, like people don't understand what they want. They want people to first go to war against the police. The police is their first, that is their first attack is, that's who they really want people to go to war. That's their buffer. The police have also always been the buffer for the rich and the elites. And the scenario they're trying to create is for the people to go to war against the police. Now, the police, I'm an ex-police officer, so I see both sides of it. I saw a lot of corrupt police officers. I saw good guys, I saw a very honest guy shoot a dude in the back that was handcuffed. I mean, he didn't mean to do it, but he was trying to handcuff him. He didn't mean to do it. It was poor procedure. It was poor procedure that he killed him, but he had no malice. But this is what happened recently. More debauchery.
County Sheriff's deputies are recovering after they were hurt in a shooting while serving a warrant in Minnetonka. Happened around 11:20 this morning at a home near Crestwood Drive East and Mayview Terrace. Chopper 5 over the scene, as you can see, shows.
Now, my brother-in-law lives out here. Let me think. Highway 7. Trying to think where I'm at. Right here. Go. They live before Highway 7? No, they live after Highway 7. 62 is way down here. Yeah, so my brother-in-law lives basically up in here somewhere. So this is Minnetonka. Lake Minnetonka is not in the picture because it's more west. Yeah, my brother-in-law lives way going that way. But anyway, we'll let it continue.
A large police response to the area. Tonight, we have team coverage. Paful Yang live near the scene with reaction from neighbors. But let's begin with Brittany Ehrman with the very latest on the deputies involved, the suspect, and how all this played out. Brittany?
Kevin, that deputy is being hospitalized.
Man, she's low. I don't think she has a weave on. I think this is her hair. This does not look like a weave. And she's cute. And she's got the magenta shirt. Some people say pink. But she looks cute. I like it.
Hennepin County Medical Center. And the good news is he is expected to be okay. We've seen a lot of support from the public and other law enforcement agencies. Earlier today, the street was packed with squad cars and flashing lights to stand in solidarity. Sheriff DeWanna Witt calls this an emotional day for everyone. Now, the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office says the arrest warrant those deputies were helping to serve was related to a felony in Minnetonka. The BCA tells us early information shows the person at the house shot at law enforcement and they returned fire. That's when those two deputies were hurt. Sheriff Witt says one male deputy was shot and transported to HCMC with serious injuries. Another deputy was injured from a result of the gunfire, but he was treated and released at the scene. The BCA says the shooter died from his injuries, but they don't know if they were the person named in that warrant. Sheriff Witt noted this is yet another incident in Minnesota, adding to the increase in assaults against law enforcement officers.
Okay, but let me say this. See, this is the problem. And this is what the world has turned into, and it's gone back right. The beast and the silent majority, as Reagan called them, they're scared of the people. That's why you see all them fences up in D.C. They're scared of the people. Police are scared of the people again. And, unfortunately, you're going to see more and more of this happen, where we're going to see them not even go to people's houses anymore. I mean, they're going to get attacked so often that they're going to quit going to people's house. The main thing we got to do is make them quit stopping people. I mean, you could save a lot of lives if you quit stopping people, because again, stopping people is only a money-making thing. It has nothing to do with safety. It's only one time you really need to stop people: if you're unsafe. If you're drunk driving, you driving reckless. That's the only reason you need to get stopped. All that other shit, speeding, if you speed and you doing it safely, you should be able to go fast as you want to go. Fast as you want to go, long as you're driving safely. So we know that stopping people is nothing but money generating. It's them getting their salary. That's all it is. It's a money generating machine. And so, leave people alone. Leave people alone.
It's got to stop. Every single day, first responders are rushing to
Boy, this is a bufferilla. This is a booger bear, bufferilla, and a booger bear combined.
to help others, helping to keep our communities safe. They do not deserve to be threatened. They do not.
Okay, but you threaten people by just what you're wearing. What you're wearing is a threat. So how do you think people are going to respond?
deserve to be assaulted. They do not deserve to be killed.
Oh, and they don't call them police anymore. They call them first responders. They've changed the name because police is a bad word. So now first responders.
The Bureau of Criminal Apprehension says no one is in custody at this time, but this is still an active investigation. Officials say there is no threat to the public. Live in Minneapolis, Brittany Ehrman, 5 Eyewitness News.
Whoops. Thank you, Brittany. We continue team coverage now with Pafua Yang, who's live near the scene in Minnetonka, and she's been talking to neighbors about what happened. Pafua?
Yeah, Kevin, earlier today, this area was swamped with emergency vehicles and first responders, and we saw neighbors line the streets as police blocked off the roads. And as this was going on, nearby residents were asked to evacuate or shelter in place. Notre Dame Academy, which is just minutes away from where the shooting happened, kept kids and staff inside as a precaution. However, we're told kids were released as normal. Now, the police chief said the massive response was only possible thanks to trainings they do with other agencies. We also heard from neighbors who were quite alarmed by the large police presence. Take a listen.
Just a bunch of cop cars everywhere. Just wild. I've never seen this in Minnesota before. It's crazy.
Right away, that's what I thought, Burnsville. I'm wondering if that's why there was such a massive police presence.
We rely on mutual aid. Not any of our cities could handle an incident like this alone. So when there's a call for help, we do get.
Okay. You know what this is setting up? You know what this is a setup for? And I'm going to say it because I'd never do it. But you know what? It's easy to set them up for an ambush. And if you've got 15 to 20 cars responding and someone really hated these people, that's asking for it. That's asking for it. Because that's the way you can predict how they act. You had one active shooter, you got 20, 30 cops coming. So a person could set up an ambush and, I wouldn't do it. I'm a law-abiding citizen. Hey, Big Stank, thank you for coming. But I'm just saying.
You got to have vision.
You want to come this strong, there is one shooter didn't call for 30 cars. 3 or 4 cars should be able to handle one shooter. But, yeah, so... I think it's one more story I had. One more story. Let's see what it was. Check this out. Hey, I think this is worth catching because I talked about this story before. This is an update to an old local story. So check this out. Because, you know, sometimes everybody can be affected by a fucked up boss. And it shows you that these people that wear the blue and get to carry guns ain't always good people. And so here we go. They ain't always good folks. They ain't always the cream of the crop. So here we go.
County law enforcement because Sheriff Witt started her day side by side with other high-ranking leaders in the Hennepin County Sheriff's Department, saying they're suing Hennepin County because they say the county didn't protect them from former.
Okay, check this out. This dude, I think this is if I'm not mistaken, I think this is a police car. He was drunk driving because his private vehicle was a police car, a sheriff's car. So I think he was drunk driving the sheriff's car, and this is what he did to it. I mean, this is how stupid he was, and this is how much power and control he had. He just thought he was Superman. Because if you drunk driving once, you've been drunk driving. So that's him. Power hungry.
County because they say the county didn't protect them from former disgraced Sheriff Dave Hutchinson. During his time as sheriff, you'll remember he was convicted for a DWI after he crashed a car severely, and then he was censured after a damning internal report about his behavior. He then went on indefinite leave and did not seek re-election. And now we get to the lawsuit. And this lawsuit alleges that the county knew about inappropriate behavior from the former sheriff toward the sheriff's employees, including Sheriff Witt, and that the county, these people say, did not do enough to protect them. Here's Sammy.
There are 7 current and former Hennepin County Sheriff employees filing a lawsuit against the county. One of them is current Sheriff Dewana Witt.
The behavior we experienced was harmful, embarrassing, and illegal.
Witt joined 6 other plaintiffs to recall the mistreatment from former Sheriff David Hutchinson, who was elected to office in 2019.
During and after his tenure as sheriff, as Hennepin County Sheriff, he repeatedly violated the rights of Hennepin County employees. He brutally demeaned employees because of their race and sexual orientation and other statuses protected under Minnesota law, using vulgar and derogatory language.
Attorney Stephen Andrew Smith says the county failed to protect them.
I want to emphasize this case is not just a case about litigating whether the former sheriff was a bad manager or a bad sheriff. This case is about the failure of the county to provide a safe work environment free of discrimination and retaliation.
The plaintiffs listed in the lawsuit all at one point held senior positions.
My name is Tim Stout, and I currently serve as the Chief of Staff in the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office.
Stout recalls a 2022 staff meeting in particular.
Several of us feared that we were literally sitting ducks, and that Hutchinson would come through the door and open fire on us.
The complaint also states Hutchinson would threaten to fire people and wave his loaded service weapon around. He was placed on administrative leave in 2022.
Hutchinson continued to make threatening statements in the summer of 2022, including a July threat that forced me to make another county sheriff's office provide protection at my home. I feared for my life and for the safety of my family.
The county did have an outside investigator look into allegations and released a report after voting to censure him December 2022. In a statement, the county said all county managers and supervisors are responsible for promptly addressing reports of disrespectful behavior and discrimination, including the managers and supervisors who filed this lawsuit. The county said it did investigate claims once alerted and will vigorously defend against these claims.
And we are here today because Hennepin County failed as an employer to fully address these actions and the continuous retaliation that we experience.
Sammy Solina, KARE 11 News.
Now, the lawyers representing those former and current employees, including the sheriff, said they tried for a year to resolve this case, and they claim the county refused to take any responsibility for its actions. The sheriff, Dewana Witt, says this lawsuit should not inhibit the office in its day-to-day responsibility.
Yeah, they gonna owe bread, though. They gonna owe a lot of bread for this. They gonna owe a lot of bread. Now, I just see that my son broke my knife. My son is super hyper. He can't leave shit alone. So he was playing the game on here and he broke my knife. Like, he just broke this shit. I can barely, look at this. I can barely, it's like he was hitting it on something. I know it was, because I never had this. I've had this for 10 years It ain't never been hard to open. But he was hitting this on something that bent this in here. Yeah, it's all bent. It is all bent. What happened? So I know he's fucking with it. Damn, where's the picture at? Let me see. Photos. Try to take another picture of it. Camera. This shit ain't taking pictures. God damn, why ain't it taking pictures? Won't take a picture. Yes.
What are you talking about, man? Open?
You broke it.
I didn't break it, bro.
Okay, why is it done open? It opens hard now. Why? And you can see where the handle's bent down here, where you open it.
What do you mean, bro?
You showed, you look at the second picture. Let me see. Here it goes. I'm sending you the next picture. You see that? It won't close now.
It hasn't sent yet.
Yeah, it won't close. It's rubbing. So you can see you done pounded it with something. You can see where, if you look on it, you can see where you bent it in there. So you was hitting this shit on something. Man, you know, I done had this for 10 years. Why don't you just leave it alone? Huh? Why didn't you just leave it alone?
You said it's hard to close?
Yeah. Wasn't like that before.
Yes, it was. It's
No. It's been easy to open, and it's been in my office on this table for over a year. It ain't never been hard to close.
Easy. Yes, it was.
It's always been easy to open. And then I can see where it's all bent up. Tell me how I get all bent up. It was on the floor too.
Bro, it's literally a friction hinge.
Yeah, nah, you broke it. So just leave it alone.
I did not break it.
You did break it.
It's literally a friction hinge. Why would it be easy to close?
Okay, you can see where it's bent in the handle. You can see where it's bent in the handle.
Hold on.
You can see it's bent right there. And it wasn't bent like that. I play with this thing every other day.
What do you mean the handle's bent? I don't see it.
Yeah, when you flex it out, look at this, guys. You see this? It sticks right there. See? It's metal on metal, and it wasn't like that. It's metal on metal now. And then you can barely open it. Now, the knife part opened fine, but the hatchet, you was banging this on something. I don't know. What did you touch it? Just tell you, did you touch it? While you sat in my office all this time, did you touch it?
Yes, I did touch it.
Okay, so you admit you broke it.
I didn't break it.
Okay, did you open it? Did you open it?
I did open it, yes.
Then the case closed. See? Oh, and this is, let me tell you, this is the bullshit I got. This is a 15. I kind of wanted to hold off, but the wife wanted to get him now. This ain't no better than, these used to be better. Like the 14s, this is glass. The only titanium is in the corners. Like I think this piece right here is the titanium. Just this bullshit piece around here. This is the titanium. It's just this piece right here. This is plastic like Samsung. This used to be glass on the 14. These is glass. This ain't glass. That's plastic. So why did they get rid of the glass? Now the camera's better than the Samsungs, but as far as holding it, it feels no better than a Note. The 14, I really wish I'd have got the 14 Max. I really do. Because I would have preferred to have the glass back. But you know me, I talk shit. But do you see how you let someone use your office and, you know, all this stuff is here and he can't leave it alone. And that's just a matter of respect. That's disrespect to fuck with my shit. And he admitted he opened it. And I'm telling you, I can see where he was pounding it on something because it's, as you do this, you can see where it's pinched here. Maybe y'all say I'm being petty. I am being petty. This is my shit. Why should that be broke just because you bored and you can't leave shit alone? See, when you give people an inch, they want to take 2 miles. They want you give them an inch, they want you to take them to the moon. Let me see. I saw somebody in here. Oh, okay. Well, what did they come out about this? Here we go. Because they sure didn't want dude to say he was betting on baseball, but it's mighty shady. Gave him 4 million. What's say? His interpreter negotiating guilty plea with federal authorities. So he the scapegoat. They making they making him a scapegoat because it's no way an interpreter is going to get $4 million. Not by the Dodgers, not by the Angels. Nobody's giving him $4 million. So he was betting on baseball. He understands baseball. He was betting on baseball and sports. Now they're going to make him be the fall guy, but this guy was betting on baseball. And remember what they did for Pete Rose. But he right now, see, they want this to be the face of baseball, not you Americans. Now, I have no problem with the people from the islands dominating baseball because, again, they did invent it in the islands. Rubber and all that was produced in the islands. So I have no problem with that. They should dominate it, but not these people. But again, here we go. Guilty plea with federal acknowledged he had a gambling addiction last month. Interview, a post-game meeting. During the season series in South Korea, he was fired after attorneys claimed that the slugger was victimized, who used his account to pay off $4 million in debts. Yeah, come on now. Come on now. If this motherfucker bet, he talk about that shit all the time. You know, a gambler talks about gambling all the time. You know he's making bets on the internet. You know, and this much. Nobody lets you ride that kind of debt. Nobody gonna let you ride that much. So so this is a cover up again because they don't want the Americans to dominate. They want any foreigners. They don't like American stars anymore. Former prosecutor confirmed it's unclear what charges he might face, citing that these people familiar with the matter report the federal authorities believe they have evidence charged settings on his account to mute alerts on transactions. Oh, so he took his phone and he doesn't know when money's coming out. That grossed nearly $40 million salary at the time he played for the Angels, and the team employed as a translator was estimated to be excess of $40 million annually during the period which alleged to have stolen money from. So, they're saying he had access to his money. Why would he? Why would he? He would not have access to his money. Originally, they was aware of the transactions, was disappointed that lost such a large sum, and agreed to pay the debt for his friend. So that means he was part of it. Later, retracted story to him and represented him shortly after began because it was looking like he bet on baseball. After leaving the Angels, signing a $700 million contract, he was a constant shadow, public eye. So this is cover up. This is cover up. This is cover up. Because a dude didn't make 204. It's no way, dude barely probably made $1 million being a translator. So that's a cover up. That's a big cover up. So who is this cat? This is the morbid news. And in the morbid news, who do we got? Who does the Beast want for these coming playoffs? Music scoring engineer recorded such as Spartacus, Bullet, The Wild Bunch, and Out of Africa. Okay, nobody knows about these things. Twice Oscar nominated for soundtrack. Oh, he did Woodstock soundtrack. That's what I give you. Gun would take you higher, higher. That's okay. He won an Emmy for the Sound Mixing Academy Awards telecast and received 2 additional Emmy nominations in the sound mixing category of Citizen Cohen and Gotti. Now, what is this now? He won an Emmy for sound mixing on the Academy Awards telecast. I didn't even know you was up. How do you get an award for the telecast? Okay, nobody cares about him. Again, you stay silent. The Beats, be uninspiring, and the Beats will let you live till you're in the 90s. But on the other hand, the Beast determines when you die. So... It says the 2 best fits for Chris Paul, who's probably done with the Warriors. Yeah, Chris Paul's been done. What is this now about my Eagles? What is this? Packers and Eagles to play NFL season opener at Brazil club with ban on green. What? The Green Bay Packers, Green Bay, green is in the name, holds its first regular season game in Brazil. September 6th matchup will mark the first time that NFL played a Friday night game on season opening weekend. Commissioner said in February the Eagles will be home team, and then announced Wednesday the Packers will face the Eagles. Okay. The game will take place in something, Corinthians, okay, again, South America. Home the Brazilian soccer team, the Corinthians. The venue is used at the 2014 World Cup in De Janeiro. Corinthians have an informal ban on the color green, worn by their bitter rivalry. I would never use green boots because of my history with the club I love since I was little. This is a precedent for teams wearing jerseys with touches of green at the stadium. Brazil and Nigeria, who incorporate green with their jerseys, played on the venue in 16. Nigeria played their white away with green numbers. Brazil played the famous yellow jerseys with green. The subject came up at the press conference to announce the game when São Paulo's more joked, what color is this team's shirts? This will mark the Packers' second international game. Okay. So it's some bullshit. So somebody got to wear dark jerseys. So no way to get around that. Looks like they want a team in South America now. Now you see, my son, he won't admit that he broke my knife. But he admitted that he opened it, so that proves he broke it. If you guys never been to the Masters, oh man, that is so fun to go to the Masters down in Augusta. That's a beautiful place. My boy, one of my college teammates from that area, a couple of them actually, he retired working for the Dell nuclear plant down there. And it was back when we had the original, we had the original bricks. We had the Motorola's, but we was talking for hours. Like we'd be an hour just talking. This is back when we had the burnout phones. Mother's like, how are they talking? Isn't that expensive? Oh, okay. And this is a cat. I saw this. Maybe y'all know who he is. I really didn't remember this cat. DJ Master C, longtime radio staple who worked with Biggie and Big Daddy Kane. I have no idea who this nigga is. DJ Master C, who became a staple in hip-hop by working with rap greats like Big Daddy Kane and Notorious, has died, according to former Workplace. He was only 57. The station worked for 21 years, became known as the host of the Throwback at Noon. After receiving confirmation from the Brooklyn DJ's family. As the family of Hot 97, WBLS was deeply saddened by the passing of our beloved Mr. C. He wasn't just a DJ, he was a pillar of our community. Continue, Mr. C influence stretched beyond airwaves, shaping the fabric of New York's culture. Sirius, where Mr. C could be heard 7 p.m. time slot of LL Cool J's Rock the Bells. I listen to that every now and then. Also shares the sad news of the DJ's death. The channel would honor the radio throughout the day, including 9 p.m. Wednesday. Tahoe's, the radio station he's working at, also known known as the Finisher. He was credited with Biggie Smalls' rise in the industry as he helped produce the rap legends Ready to Die. He was also a high school classmate with Big Daddy Kane, and was featured on his debut album Long Live Cocaine. MC Light paid tribute to him. This is her and him. Okay, I wonder, rappers, personalities, doesn't tell how he died. Does not tell how he died. Yeah, doesn't tell how he died. If any of y'all know how he died, put it in the chat. I don't know how he died. So, so y'all saw that earlier. What is this? The World Athletic Organization announced Wednesday that gold medalists in track and field will receive $50 50,000 at the Paris Olympics in the summer of 24. World Athletes, the very first international sports governing body to allocate money for gold medalists at the following footsteps of several other nations. World Athletics governing body, track and fields, whether other sports plan to give gold medal winners all events 50,000. So if you win a gold, you get 50. So if you win as a group, you'll also get 50. Prize money for silver and bronze. Some countries give gold medal, like smaller countries, they give their people up to $1 million. They give their people up to $1 million. So, and you know, what's funny is it's fixed. It's all fixed. If you don't think the Olympics is fixed, go back and watch the boxing match of Roy Jones. Go look at his when he fought in Korea. And so you'll see when Roy Jones fought in Korea, you'll see that that there was something foul going on. That it's fixed. That it's fixed. That it's fixed. And so, and go back and look at the 72 Olympics. Yeah, and you see how fixed they are. Totally fixed. I want to play this. Jody, I want to play this. A lot of y'all, don't understand.
Have you heard of this brand?
But this is Jody.
Brand new product.
And I'm going to play Jody stuff because a lot of people don't really understand this. And Jody does a good job of this. So this is only about 5 minutes. So I'm going to let Jody play. I can go pee. And Jody, please don't hit me. I think I got her number somewhere. So.
Good evening, good evening. As always, I hope this video finds you both in good health and in good spirits. Now, I wanted to do a video today that's probably going to be my most controversial video of all. I really hope it doesn't piss people off. I know a lot of people aren't going to believe this. Others it's going to make mad. Other people are going to call me a Satanist or a liar or whatever. But I still wanted to put together this video anyways, talking about this false image of Jesus. You see a lot of people that hang this image up in their homes and in their workplace and so forth. And you have to remember, we were warned in the Bible not to make images, no graven images, yet people do so anyways. And I wanted to talk about that. I had read an article that talked a lot about this, and it talks about how all of the images and paintings that are displayed in churches today are actually of a man named Caesar Borgia. In case you're not familiar with him, Caesar Borgia was an Italian mobster, as well as captain of the papal military during the 1500s. And he was also the son of Pope Alexander VI of Rome. Now, in an effort to keep black slaves oppressed so they could sustain their rulership in Rome, Pope Alexander hired Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo to paint all of the images of Jesus, as this picture here, which is actually the image of his son.
Let me give my 50 cents. The other thing they did is they went around and painted a lot of the melanated Europeans. They painted them Euro-Asian looking. They went around, and because we know King James and Prince Charlotte, or Queen Charlotte, his mama, we know these are melanated people. We know, and some say that the Black Death was aimed at the melanated people in Europe, and that's who it wiped out. It wiped out big numbers of melanated people that had been old families in Europe. And they don't talk about that. And so that's why, a lot of people say they called it Black Death, because that's who it was killing. That they did, and that seems to be a plot too. Somebody had to have the science, which shows probably future people coming back. But anyway, I'm gonna let this go on. Here we go.
And since both of these artists were well known, they were in competition with each other. A competition broke out between the two to see who could impress the Pope more by making a new image of the Pope's son that would deceive the world into thinking that Caesar was actually Jesus. So the majority of images that are displayed is the white European looking Jesus that we see in the paintings today in the churches and in the stores. Unfortunately, it's actually pictures of Caesar.
Hey, and what did Ali say? You know, I don't care about them white Jesus. And what Ali Daddy said, them white Jesus, me painting them white Jesuses helped put steak on the table. Remember it, Ali? But okay, go ahead, Jody.
Borgia, not the Messiah. But Leonardo and Michelangelo didn't just stop there. No. They painted all of the people of the Bible to be white, deceiving the entire world into thinking that's what they really looked like. And over time, these false images have saturated the minds and the masses to such a degree that the notion of a Messiah being a dark brown or black makes it seem like it's a lie. And there was a book, Caesar Borgia is in the book titled Triptych of Poisoners, and also in the book titled Caesar Borgia, His Life and Times by Sarah Bradford. Now, between 1502 and 1503, he employed Leonardo da Vinci as a military architect and engineer, in which him and Leonardo da Vinci became intimate, instantaneous, and they became lovers. And to express his love towards Caesar, Leonardo painted many pictures of him. And Caesar's father, Rodrigo Borgia, who later became Pope Alexander VI under the authority of the Catholic Church.
And let me interject that the daddy was one of Isabella's fighting bishops. One of Isabella's fighting bishops. That's who the daddy was. He fought in the wars against the Moors with Isabella, because most of the bishops had armies. And he was able to get a higher position. She helped him. Isabella helped her, the daddy to become the Pope. But let's go.
Had his son and his picture put up in the Western world to represent, as Jesus. And not to mention, Caesar had sex with his own sister Lucrezia, and he killed his own brother Giovanni in 1497. And this is the man who the Catholic Church gave their consent to allow his picture to be put up and portrayed as Jesus, to basically deceive the world into thinking that Jesus was European. And what most people don't know is that there was a competition going on during the time called the Renaissance period, where Leonardo da Vinci and the well-known Michelangelo took part. And the competition was to see who could impress the king by making new images of the king's son that would deceive the world. And Leonardo da Vinci won the competition. So yeah, there's a little bit about that. I hope I didn't make too many people mad with this video, but I thought it was definitely one worth making anyway.
So I know most of you knew this. This is old news, but I like the way she put it together, and so I wanted to show that. And so, remember, y'all old enough to remember good times, that she had the, what they call, my man called White Hunky Jesus. That's, what is it? WJHJ. But that's this old guy that's out there, and he's like, this is a picture of White Hunky Jesus. So no, I don't mean to be rude. I don't mean to be out of line, but it's a short of a dude. He got the picture, and he said, this is White Hunky Jesus. And that's what it is. That's White Hunky Jesus. So, I'm not trying to offend anybody, but that ain't, that's again, it's propaganda. That's how far and long propaganda. That's why you get one of them slave Bibles, and the slave Bible says slave's supposed to listen to his master. And this is what they wanted taught, but they actually wanted taught turn the other cheek. because they didn't want the slave uprisings. They didn't want the melanated uprisings. Like, remember, I talked about this the other night when I came on. Remember in the Children of the Flower Moon, one of the early scenes, he goes to pick her up. She's coming out of a Catholic church. Why is the Catholic church on the reservation? I mean, the opening scene, they show where they have to put the pipe of teaching, the pipe of wisdom away. They were forced by the government to put the pipe of wisdom away. Remember in the beginning of Flower of the Killer Moon, they have to bury the calumet because Europeans wasn't allowed anymore. They wanted them to be Christians, Catholics. Remember that, how they had to show that? Why is the Catholics on the reservation? And understand, that's the Catholics have always attacked our children and our women. Going back to Columbus, who wasn't Catholic at all. And, that's what's funny about it. Columbus was not Catholic. He was Jewish faith. Born in Portugal. If you do the deep study of him, you see he was born in Portugal of Ashkenazi's parents that lived in Portugal. So he was not this Italian. The only reason they say he's Italian because the mafia, Italian people were looked at as mafia people. So they wanted to find a way not to be looked at as mafia. So they say, hey, we can get a new mascot. Let Christopher Columbus the mascot of the Italians. When in fact, the first European to step in, since the 1400s, because we know that the people came from the northern route. We brought them from the northern route. But it was a Jewish faith cat, I'll get my book out one time. His name's in the book. And the name of the person that financed Columbus's trip. So, good job, Jody. I just wanted to put that in. Good job, Jody. I think I said what's happening, the big stank. What's happening? Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm all caught up of what I had to say. Oh, okay. This is a kind of a follow-up.
The defense is rested.
This is a follow-up of the river stabbing. And so this is an interview with the stabber. If you remember, we've been following this story. So this is they're about to do closing arguments, and this is an argument from the stabber.
Stand today in the Apple River stabbing trial. He's accused of killing a 17-year-old boy, wounding 4 adults, and hitting a woman during a confrontation while tubing on the river. Mew claims it was self-defense. Eric Shalou has been tracking every moment of this trial for us, and he's here to tell us about this big day in court. Eric?
Kevin, Nikolai Mew spent most of the day on the witness stand at the St. Croix County Courthouse. Mew told the jury he feared for his life.
Mr. Mew, please stand. Raise your right hand.
Nikolai Mew took the stand in his own defense. The case centers on an encounter from July 2022, captured on cell phone video on the Apple River in Somerset, Wisconsin. When it was over, 17-year-old Isaac Schumann was dead, and 4 adults were stabbed.
Were you trying to kill somebody? Absolutely not.
Mew says a friend tubing with him lost his phone, so he went to look for it. That's when he came upon the teens. During the trial, the teens testified Mew claimed to be looking for young girls, which led them to yell at him. Mew stressed he was just looking for a phone.
I felt frustrated. I felt annoyed. They kept saying it over and over.
Mew says 2 women from a different group of adults came over and put their hands on him.
They're yelling at me. At one point, they were pointing downriver and saying, go, go.
Mew says one woman was in his personal space.
I pushed her away.
That led others watching to push Mew into the water, according to witness testimony.
I feared for my life. That was the truth. When they started hitting me and pointed a knife at me, and then another kid pointed a knife, I thought that was it.
Earlier in the day, the jury watched the sheriff's office interrogation of Mew the night of the incident. During the interview, Mew said it wasn't his knife, but others pulled knives on him.
Just saw 2 knives, that's it. The longer one and the shorter one.
Later on the stand, Mew was asked about those knife comments, since the bystander video shows him with the knife.
Were you truthful to her about the knife? No.
Hey, he got enough money. This is that's fake hair right there. This looks like where they had plugs. He's getting plugs, but that's all fake. And that's you can see where the plugs, they started over here, but this is fake, or this is just fake little hair, but it looks like hair plugs. But let's go. And he's a foreigner. He's a foreigner too.
I lied about the knife.
Prosecutors say the 5 stabbings took place over about 20 seconds. Mew says he left the scene and threw the knife away. About an hour after the encounter, Mew was taken into custody after being spotted by law enforcement. Prosecutors asked Mew why he never stopped police for help.
You saw a uniformed officer with his gun drawn, walking towards you, right? You didn't approach that officer.
I was afraid of everybody.
The state had the court amend the charges beyond first-degree intentional homicide and attempted first-degree homicide to allow the jury to also...
I don't know. Do y'all believe him? Do y'all believe him? Does that seem believable, what he just said? Does that seem believable? He stabbed a woman. Woman got near and he shank. It's not funny, but it is kind of funny. It's not funny, but it's kind of funny. Let's see. I think that was all the stories I had. It's funny though how some of these mugs, I don't know. Okay, I think this is, I don't think I talked about this one. Yeah, I didn't talk about this one. I forgot about this one. And this is, let me go back. This is 2 days ago. So yeah, this is a couple days ago. I think I follow this chick on Facebook, I think. But let her tell it.
Minneapolis police say a 24-year-old man is dead following a shooting in the city's Phillips neighborhood. It happened near the intersection of 29th Street and Portland Avenue. Police say they responded.
Now, I know this is changing the subject, but God, what is this called on here? A lot of houses in Minnesota have this outside instead of the normal siding, especially older houses. God, I can't think of what this shit is called. But it's really funny because they say that, it holds in the heat better. What is this shit called? Golly, I'm an old man and I should know what this stuff is called. It's not terracotta, but it's like they say that this is why so many older homes have this type of outside shell. It's because of it's supposed to be warmer.
Found the man dead. Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara says it's hard seeing this kind of violence in the community.
It's extremely difficult as police officers to see the results of this violence day in and day out, to see young people who have been killed dead on the street.
Well, police are still investigating the shooting, but say they found a handgun nearby with an extended magazine. No one is in custody.
Well. She's got papers on me. She's got papers on me. Where's all these stories coming from? What is all this? I think that's all the debauchery I got, y'all. I think that's all the debauchery I got. Yeah, I think that was it. That was the last little piece. Glad I went through. Yeah, I think that was it. Did the officer shooting and this shooting? I think this is something else. Wow. This is 3 days ago. God damn. All right. Let them tell it. Let them tell it.
Is calling for more action and saying enough is enough after another young boy was shot.
This comes a week after an 11-year-old boy was shot in the head. Fox 9's Babs Santos in St. Paul now with the very latest for us. Babs?
Yeah, Randy and Amy, this now makes for back-to-back weekends with shootings sending very young children to the hospital. And today, the city's police chief called...
I must admit, my parka, my stadium coat kills this one. This is Columbia. I would never wear Columbia. No nigga should ever wear Columbia because it stands for Columbus. Columbia is the spirit they put around here. You know, Columbia is their spirit, is their imperialist spirit that they put over there. That's what Columbia is. So no nigga should ever, no melanated person should ever wear this shit. I ain't got none of this shit.
That inexcusable.
It's unfortunately not too uncommon for, sirens around here. You hear them quite often, sometimes you think you're in Gotham City a little bit.
In a matter of minutes, Connor Ketterman says his St. Paul neighborhood was swarmed by police cars after he heard an unfortunately all too familiar sound.
I heard at least 3 gunshots. There was probably about 3 to 5 seconds in between each of them.
St. Paul police confirm on Saturday night before 11,
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm interrupted. It just hit me. This is called stucco. That's what this shit is called. Stucco. This is called stucco. I'm sorry. I know this was getting interesting, but this is called stucco. See, a lot of these old buildings, stucco on the outside. Okay, I'm sorry.
5 seconds in between each of them.
St. Paul police confirm on Saturday night before 11, a 9-year-old boy was shot in the ankle. Police say shots were fired into a home on Case Avenue East, and investigators recovered shell casings outside. The child was taken to Regents Hospital with a non-life-threatening wound and has since been released. Neighbor Ketterman says the regular sound of gunshots now has him scared for his loved ones as well.
It's kind of a game you play almost sometime, firework or gunshot, which not the funnest game to play, but
they don't sound the same.
Saturday's shooting makes for 2 weekends in a row with victims potentially yet to enter their teenage years. Last weekend, an 11-year-old boy was shot in the head in St. Paul, and police say a 13-year-old girl was responsible. Authorities charged 34-year-old Martinez Castillo Lloyd in court documents that allege he stored 2 firearms negligently and is ineligible to own guns. The 11-year-old boy is now stable.
Again, that's all the story, the end of that story. Adults, if you have guns, like one thing you can do is just get the old, you can get the old long kind of locks. It's a skinny little lock that you put through the barrel and you just lock it. If you got a revolver, just throw any kind of lock in it. If you got a revolver, just put a lock on it. And unless the child's got a hacksaw or a power saw, it's easy to lock. If you have a semi-auto, a lot of them come with that long, skinny locks that you can stick in there. And they ain't that easy to break. But the safest place, just put them in a safe. I mean, if you got young children around you and you need to take them guns off of you, you got to put them in a safe. You got to put them in a safe or put the locks on them. So they got to fuck with them. I want to show this. I don't even know what brand this is, y'all. I'm sorry. But I've been using this for the last year, and y'all know how much I smoke and I chew cigars, but you put this over your toothbrush. And they last about maybe 2 months, maybe a little longer. They last for a minute. And I'm telling you that your toothbrush will be so fresh. This is a nice little thing. You just put this over your toothbrush, and it's equivalent to having a whole thing of mouthwash, which got sugar, artificial sugar. That's a nice little thing. You just stick it over your toothbrush, and whatever kind of toothpaste, you shouldn't be using fluoride. You should be smart enough not to use fluoride by now. Don't use fluoride toothpaste. So, yeah, I think that's all the stories I had of debauchery. I want to say this, though, about the cops. Local police, I hope you hear this. Again, you keep going 30 deep. Y'all are setting yourself up to be set up. Because if criminals know if they have a shooting and you're going to bring or they're going to do it as I'm going to create a fake shooting over here and we're going to go do some business over here. So if they know that, just think of, you can set up a gun automatically to just shoot. And they come running 30, 40 of them, and then you go to their town and you rob something. I mean, you guys got to be smarter than this. You're overreacting to what happened in Burnsville, in my town. That's what all this, because I saw this the other day. I guess the trailer park, there's a trailer park about 2 or 3 miles from me. And I saw all these cars coming. So it's an overreaction for all these officers getting, there's not the respect there for the officers anymore. Because, what happened to George Floyd, they look at it as the enemy, which, a lot of melanated people been saying that, but, did y'all see these? I don't know. These just women's shoes. They came out with these. I mean, you can get the old ones, but this is what they came out with. What did they call these motherfuckers? They called them sulfur, but they only came out in women's size. I'm pretty sure. So I don't like twos, what are these, threes? I don't like fours. I might get the military or industrial blue, whatever they call them, just because they're gonna be the shoe to get. But yeah, and the old ones, this shit fucks up. And this is another women's shoe. Yeah, both of them are women's shoes. This is a women's shoe, and this is a women's shoe too. Who had these on? Jeff Green? Was it Jeff Green had these on? Looking like the Tin Man and shit. That's it. Thank Jeff Green. So this is, y'all got them little feet, you can get these. If you got little feet, I wear 13s and 14s, so I can't fit them, nor would I want them. But sometimes the fours do, I'll say this, sometimes the fours do make outfits pop. So, yeah, and the art is beautiful. You know, I am one for the art. I'm starting to appreciate that more and more, the art of the shoe more and more. So, not being just such an old head anymore, you know, I appreciate the art of shoes. Now, who is this? Patty Astor, founder of downtown New York's legendary. Okay, I wonder if she is an Astor. Because the Astors, the main Astors got killed on the Titanic, but she's Astor. Patty Astor, founder of downtown New York legendary Fun Gallery, dies. Who is she? Co-founder of Fame Space, introduced a range of graffiti artists to the world. 74. They didn't, again, why don't they tell what killed these people? Occupies a space in the love of the 80s. At times, few others believe the value of graffiti. She staked a claim for it, elevating the multiracial cast of artists into the white world. Wow. It took a Euro-Asian to introduce to other Euro-Asians. You dig? It takes a Euro-Asian to introduce the other Euro-Asians what the melanated people been seeing around the neighborhood. That is so funny. It was elevating multiracial cast of artists in the white world that had not accepted them. In 1981, Bill Sterling Astor formed Fun Gallery, a scrappy place where East Village were much different edict from many New York galleries at the time. It was a white wine, white walls, and white folks. The Euro-Asian. The art world was closed off and boring, she said. I already named his name for Basquiat. This is who Jay-Z has a wig like, Basquiat. He wants it to look like Basquiat. Also showed off, but a true gallery achievement brings in the fame, such as Futura, Lee Quanis, Fab Five Freddy, LA2, and Don D. White, who produced work in mainstream galleries did not view as being art. Astor's Fun Gallery did, which started in a small storefront in the East, rented for $125 a month, lasted a few years, shutting down in 85 after sales dried up on the Soho location. But at the end, the gallery had become popular watering hole, and its program became very watched by critics. Today, its shows are considered defined of the era. She was born in 50. Both parents were physicians, so she is not from the money Astors. Oh, so this is a fake name she took on. Okay, she's not very interesting. Okay. She's not very interesting. But, you know, the beast said, you know, you take a drink of the beast glass, and the beast tell you, let's see if that should have come up again. What they say about this ugly nigga, this George Floyd looking nigga. He's not here. See, they made George Floyd a superhero. You know, George Floyd became the top actor. I said that back when the nigga did the HBO thing that looked like George Floyd. I put it on my page on Facebook. A side by side of dude and George Floyd. It's the same, and it wasn't. I ain't talking about wasn't J.R. Smith. What is the dude who fought for Indiana? What was his name? Yeah, I can't think of his name. But yeah, Majors. Jonathan Majors and Floyd look just alike. It almost look like it's the same person. Definitely the same phenotype. Jonathan Majors and George Floyd look like they could almost be brothers. Smoke said, you know, they look more alike. Nah, Jonathan Majors look more like him than Smoke. Did I do this one already? I think I did do this one. Clarence Frogman Henry. Yeah, I did that one last week. That's not new. That's the same thing. I was looking, they flashed Jonathan Majors. I don't see it now. I don't mean to be rude. I don't need to be out of line. Yeah, Jonathan Majors and George Floyd look just alike. And when they put him on that HBO show, I said, you see, they try just like that George Zimmerman. You know, I do that commercial to show George Zimmerman. People don't care. You know, George Zimmerman doing commercials and people don't care. Yes, it's a lookalike. Hey, James Gann, thank you for joining. He did. Cat Williams did.
Got to have vision.
I mean, because he's told the truth. This dude ain't handsome, but yet he in everything. So, you know, they raise you up to bring you back down. This dude ain't handsome at all, but they raise you up to bring you back down. That's a funny picture. That is a funny picture. Puffy. And it's funny how everybody makes themselves into cartoons. That's interesting. It seems almost spellish, but you know, I don't know. That ain't true. This is cap. That ain't true. Defendant's wife testifies against him in Apple River stabbing. So his wife tested against him in Apple River standing. Let's find that. Apple River. Let's find that part where the wife testifies. She must didn't like that nigga. Okay, I can find her. Sonda Mew. Okay, I can find her. I don't need to use this dude's show. I can find her. I can find her in local news. So that's what I'll do. I'll go to local news. I'm sure they got what she says. Medical examiner. The one dude died. Man, he died. Dude stabbed him in the heart with that short knife. He stabbed that dude in the heart with that short knife. So let me see if I can find his wife testifying. Sure I can. See where his wife testified. Okay, he took the stand. Where did she take the stand? I know it's in here somewhere. I might have to look through all the different agencies, but she took the stand. Hell, they got a bunch of niggas taking stand. They got the officers taking stand. Okay. Takes the stand. I want to see his wife. Oh, his wife is there. Okay. Let me see, though. Okay, they didn't cover the wife. This people covered her. Let's see. Do they have her testify? Is this her? I don't think this is her. No, she was uglier. Oh, let me see. This might give it to me too. Here she is. Here she is. So this is his wife in the Apple River stabbing. This is his wife.
Please have a seat in the witness chair. Mr. Anderson.
Can you please state your first and last name?
Sandra Mew.
And Sandra, do you work?
No,
What city and state do you live in?
I live in Lakeville, Minnesota.
And obviously you know Nikolai Mew.
Yes,
Where did you two meet?
at work.
And is that Ritchie Engineering?
Yes,
Were you tubing with Nikolai on July 30, 2022?
yes.
Were you with a group of people?
I'm sorry, what?
Were you with a group of people?
Yes,
Permission to approach?
Yes.
I'm handing you, it's been marked as Exhibit 12. You can take it. Are those the people you were tubing with?
Yes.
Okay. Move to admit and publish.
Any objection to 12?
No objection. And Sandra, can you see that? Do you go by Sandy or Sandra?
Sandy.
Okay. Far left person, who's that?
It's Ariel.
And how do you know Ariel?
He's Ernesto's nephew, and Ernesto used to work with us.
Okay. How many times were you and Nick, or just Nick, close friends with Ariel, just met him?
We sort of were close friends with him. We'd go over to Amy and Ernesto's house, and he would be there.
Okay. And how about the woman next to Ariel?
I don't know her very well. That's Ariel's girlfriend.
Okay. And then, guy third from right?
I don't know him. That was the first time he had been there.
Okay. And then that's Nikolai next to fourth from right?
Yes.
Okay. Where are you in this photo?
I'm in the inner tube, in the middle.
Okay. And then, where's Ernesto?
Ernesto is in between Amy and Rosie.
Okay. Maybe I'll go back. You can see. Can you still see it?
Yeah, sort of.
Okay. And who's Rosie?
Rosie is Ernesto's sister.
And how do you know Ernesto and Rosie?
I know Ernesto because we worked with him. Rosie's been over at his house when we would go over there.
Okay. How long have you known Ernesto?
I don't even know, 10 some years, probably maybe a little bit more.
10 to 15?
Yeah, I'd go 10 to 15.
Okay. You and Nick, would you socialize with them a lot?
Yes, we'd go to their house.
Would they come to your house?
Yes.
Okay. So decent, close friends?
Yes.
How about Amanda or Amy?
That's Ernesto's wife.
Okay.
All right, fuck all this. I want her to tell about what happened.
A day.
You guys, your group was kind of by a sandbar, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And when Nikolai was back at the group of young guys the second time, did something catch your attention?
I happened to, every once in a while, I'd sit up in my tube just to see where Nick was at. And the one time I did that, it looked like there was people around him, and all of a sudden I saw him on his hands and knees in the water, and somebody was hitting him.
Didn't you originally say that the first thing you noticed was all the young guys jumping out of their tubes?
I may have.
And it's that point that you alerted your group and sent some people over there? Or asked some people to go over there?
Yeah, I had asked 2 of them,
And who were those 2 people?
Ariel and Ernesto.
Okay. And again, Ariel in the group photos on the far left?
Yes, he's with the red, white, and blue.
Man, if you know when they show them mask, like Mission Impossible mask, don't it look like that could be the Mission Impossible mask? I know it's just neck fat, but man, that looked like that could be a mask. But let's go.
And Ernesto is the only one without a shirt off in that photo?
Yeah, he's on the other side.
All right, come on. Let's get to the juicy stuff.
After Nikolai was back by your group.
Let's go a little further back. All right.
Let's say this is the sandbar, okay, you with me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You guys are somewhere around here?
Yeah, right next to it.
Okay, in the water? Or,
Yes.
okay, like right here?
Yep.
Okay. And then do you remember where the young boys were, or young kids, or adults?
Yeah, they
whatever?
were on that side.
The other side of the river?
Yes, they weren't on the same side we were on.
And were they downstream a ways?
Yes.
Okay, so right, I mean, there's no scale, so
Yeah.
I'll just draw them generally here. So at some point, Nikolai walked back, and you said you didn't see him when he left at first. Do you know, like, if you know, I don't want you to guess, when he was halfway, did you start to watch him come back when he was almost back to your group?
Probably a little less or a little more than halfway.
Okay, so maybe like around here?
No, the other way.
Lower? Oh, this? Down here?
Probably saw him about in there.
And did
All right, that ain't.
Let me ask a question about that. So the person who's getting CPR, was that on the other side of the river from you?
Yes, it was by where the other people's troops were.
So,
Damn, that's an ugly neck.
like, when he was half.
Come on, lady, give us the juice.
And then I think you said the next thing you remember was he was on his hands and knees in the water and somebody hit him.
Yep,
And then did you see anything after that?
I did not.
And
So she said she didn't see shit. Okay.
how, at some point after, what do you remember happening after that?
They just brought him back.
And
I saw the police come and people were screaming and kid was by a tree, I guess. And later, because we stayed there for about 20 minutes.
And I'm going to get to that in a second, but I just want to back up a little bit. So you said,
All right, this is boring. This is boring. So, but that's his wife. But he's an ugly man, so he deserves an ugly wife. I guess that's how it works. Oh. And my ex-wife, who had been quite sick for a while, she came and picked up my son, so that was positive, you know. That was definitely positive. So, glad that she feels better. Glad she feels better, and she's going out of the country for the first time. So good for her. Oh, wow. Okay, let's throw this in here. Sources: A-Rod and Lori eyed Wolf's payroll cuts concerning Taylor. As part of a failed process to assume a majority ownership, minority partners Mark Lori and Alex Rodriguez submitted financial projections forecasting a sizable retreat in roster payoff that majority owner believed would jeopardize the franchise ability to compete for championships. Documents shared with Taylor and the NBA and the Carlyle Group, a private equity firm, Lori and Rodriguez rendered a budget projection as potential majority owners that would lower the payroll to $171 million beginning next season, below the projected $172 luxury threshold. The Timbers would have gone from approximately $25 million plus tax payment to a team receiving distribution of $6.5. After decades of futility, are the number one seed in the West, and Lori and Rodriguez. See, they're not truly the number one seed, but we'll see. They're already telling you they're going to be, so they're going to win their last two games at home. Among the concerns that led Taylor to avoid that contract would be finalized. Wow. Through separate spoke with both Taylor and Lori, group called Decline Comment. In recent memo, the NBA instructed both sides refrain from discussing the dispute. Wow. Meeting Wednesday told reporters that the league had no role in ownership dispute. Taylor's decision ended a 3-year process that would conclude with Lori assuming majority control. They still must have a minority stake because they gave him a bunch of bread already. So what happened to that? Their payroll would place them $27 million over the luxury tax and would exceed the second apron of free agency beginning. Taylor had paid the luxury tax 4 different seasons, including most recently in 2019. He paid the $25 million in luxury tax. Again, you can write that all off. There's been a question about Lori and Rodriguez's ability to purchase and operate the timber, a tax-paying term in one of the league's lowest revenue market, in one of the league's lowest revenue markets. Although the minority partners, they did approve of contract extensions to McDaniels and Conley. They made initial 2 payments to purchase 30. So this is what they do owe, which keeps them in minority. And they had filed paperwork to buy additional 40%, approximately $600 million that would give them control of the franchise. They searched for ways to raise. No, Lori pulled out of the deal. That's what happened. Lori pulled $300 million out of the deal. That's what happened. Lori fucked A-Rod. That's what happened. Lori fucked A-Rod. But they still owe 36% of the franchise. So, they're not saying that, but they do. Damn. 3 weeks ago, mother charged with beating daughter to death. God damn. Wow. Little girl. How would you just kill a little girl? Wow. That seems a bit much, y'all. Yes, y'all. Sorry, I don't do a lot of nigga news other than local nigga news, but national nigga news don't really interest me other than sports. Who does what in Hollywood? I could care less. They're all entertainers. They're all entertainers. Remember that. They're entertainers. So shouldn't surprise you that anything entertainers do. It's like the Manson thing, the Charles Manson thing that was only to try to stop people from going into communes and going into living and homesteading in free lands out in the deserts of California, New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada. That's what the Manson shit did. It was trying to stop people from doing that. It was a fake story done by fake employees, but that's why the movie Tarantino made Once Upon a Something in Hollywood. He shows you how they faked it, and he shows you how easy it would have been to beat those incompetent people. That's what they, So it was all fake. The news anchor they show is Sharon Tate. So. Sharon Tate appears to be the news lady, one of those news ladies. I can't think of her name. Yeah, this art stuff, y'all need to leave that alone. Making cartoons of yourself, the avatars and people showing the avatars. I don't know. Anytime they give you that shit, beware of it, because when they give you free shit, it ain't always good. Shit, you fucking turn into that cartoon. You be walking around here, hey, you a cartoon too? Yeah, I'm a cartoon now. So that's why, I don't give a fuck a lot about Hollywood other than seeing the movies. I still might go see Monkey Man. We got a free pass, so as much as I hate to watch regular screens, we do have a free pass. So I might go see Monkey Man on the cheap screen, which is to me a big waste of money. But I do like movies, so I'm going to check that one out. Maybe. I don't know. Not a lot of sports on. The games don't really. They kind of matter, but not really. Timberwolves should win the last 2 games. Oh, who's this guy? I never heard of this guy. Look at this motherfucker, y'all. Oh, my goodness. You can tell that's all fake hair. Why did he want him and let him put that fake hair all over his. CJ Snare, lead singer of Firehouse. He's a year or so older than me. Never heard of this guy. What's their hit? He was weird looking when he was young. He has a mullet. Oh, and he's dressed like Joe Dirt. Okay. The state revealed that Snare, who she was anticipated to resume touring this summer after recovering from abdominal surgery had planned last fall, passed unexpectedly at his home. So what did he die from? So he had surgery in October and he dies in March. Wow. Yeah, he was always he had a mullet. It's probably this is why he wore the hair, because when he was younger he wore the hair here. So that's why that's there, and that's all fake. You see, that's all fake, and it's fake here too. Did he have a hit? What was their hit? Yeah, following their signing, Firehouse achieved a top 10 hit on Billboard in the early 90s. Love of a Lifetime. Never heard that song, and when I look into your eyes, haven't heard that song. Don't want to hear it. Okay, so you can, if you want to hear that bullshit, it's right here. Okay. Again, he drank from the Beast Cup, and the Beast took you at 62. That's why I know they be hating to have surgeries and shit during tournaments or playoff games. I know they hate, like, hey, let's wait till these awards go away. Let's wait till the tournament goes away. Oh, I'm about to wind it up. Oh, had a mint too. And my copper cup, I've had this since 15. All right. So I don't know who this motherfucker is. Oh, you know me. I'm full of just telling debauchery and stuff. I literally saw him disemboweled. Houston News. Luis Alfredo Pacho is shot. Son of... Let's see this. This shit might be kind of interesting. I hadn't heard about this. Let's see this shit. Is it wild? Damn, they tore these cars up. Somebody shot the shit out of this place. Oh, wow. Okay. 2 AKs. Damn. Look at this picture here. Boy, you'd hate to be behind that. And this is an Escalade, a newer one. Wow. They shot that motherfucker up. Police say the trio opened fire on the Cadillac Escalade. Maybe we'll hear the whole story. Let's listen to it.
We begin with breaking updates. We now know who was gunned down at a Gulfgate area gas station yesterday. HPD identified Luis Alfredo Pacheco Rojas as the victim and son of a Dominican Republic official, the president of the Chamber of Deputies. Ugochi Iloka has more on this ambush killing.
HPD just told us they have spoken with Mr. Alfredo Pacheco about his son's death. We also know one person is critically injured right now. Crime Stoppers Houston is offering an up to $5,000 reward for any information that can lead to the arrest of the gunman. Here are surveillance photos of the 3 suspects HPD is searching for. Police say the trio opened fire on a Cadillac Escalade with 4 men inside at Star Shop convenience store on South Wayside Drive near the Gulf Freeway Monday night. HPD tells us an SUV was riddled with at least 24 bullet holes. Bullets also shattered the front of the store, and luckily no employees were hit in the crossfire. Police say Luis Alfredo Pacheco Rojas, who tried to run back inside the store, was shot and killed. HPD tells us a 29-year-old is critically hurt and the 2 other men weren't injured. Houston police strongly believe that this shooting was targeted. If you have any information, contact them right away.
Targeted. Shit, you hit these motherfuckers got hit with 3 AKs? Yes, you're targeted. This ain't no just happened. Make up your mind. I'm talking and shit and it's shaking. Can you make up your mind? Stop wasting all my time. Mother who pushed your children on... What?
And tonight,
wait a minute. What is this? Mother who pushed your children... Damn. This is some debauchery. How long ago is this? 2 hours ago. So this is fairly new debauchery. God damn. I want to hear this. Oh, so okay. Let's play this. This is crazy.
Mother who pushed her children out onto the busy 405 freeway.
Police have learned that she was heavy into astrology, and her social media accounts were full of doomsday messages as the eclipse approached.
And KCAL News reporter Tom Wade is live in Woodland Hills now. Tom, everyone wants to know who could do all of this and why are we getting closer to learning?
Yeah, absolutely, Pat. I think everyone wants to try to wrap their minds around how a mother could do the things that she did. All of this killing spree beginning here at this apartment complex at Woodland Hills and then ending on the 405. We may never know why this woman did what she did, but we are getting a better look into her mindset in the days and hours leading up to the crimes. Danielle Johnson, seen here for the first time since carrying out her horrific murderous rampage, tossing her baby and 9-year-old child onto the freeway, stabbing her boyfriend to death, and then killing herself in a crash. All of it happening in the early hours of Monday morning. Neighbors of the victims are still reeling.
To do what she did, the way that she did it, it's just awful.
Along with Johnson's photo, we're also getting our first look at her life on social media, which police say is a focus now of the investigation. On Friday, just 2 days before her killing spree, Johnson posted on X, "Wake up, wake up. The apocalypse is here. Everyone who has ears, listen. Your time to choose what you believe is now." On her website, Johnson described herself as an astrologer and an energy healer. Johnson appeared obsessed with the eclipse, posting about it multiple times, calling it the epitome of spiritual warfare and urging people to pick a side as the world is changing. She also reposted anti-Semitic images and anti-Semitic tropes about Jewish people owning Hollywood and promoting pedophilia.
We didn't realize how mentally unstable she was. A lot of anti-Semitic remarks, especially in Hollywood, calling Hollywood execs pedophiles.
Detectives are reviewing all of Johnson's posts, but right now they are not connecting the eclipse and her online rants about it to the murders.
I feel so bad, as I'm sure everyone does, for the infant and especially for the daughter that survived it.
Johnson's inexplicable rampage began early Monday morning here at her Woodland Hills apartment complex. Detectives say she got into an argument with her boyfriend, 29-year-old Jalen Allen Cheney, which ended with her stabbing him to death. She then took her 2 daughters, an 8-month-old baby, and 9-year-old, rammed the gate in her garage and took off down the 405. She stopped her SUV in Culver City and pushed her baby daughter and 9-year-old out onto the freeway. The infant was hit and killed. The 9-year-old who witnessed the horrific stabbing survived with only minor injuries. Johnson kept driving. She ended up in Redondo Beach where she slammed into a tree. Police say she was speeding at about 100 miles per hour during the impact, which they are investigating as a suicide.
Oh, it's horrible, horrible.
All right, yeah, this was this has deep state written all under it. I almost say it. This is obviously she was under some kind of state programming. And this could have been a eclipse sacrifice. Couple of them. Again, I don't know how a man can get a military man can get overpowered even with a knife. I mean, a knife to my arm ain't gonna stop me from fucking a bitch up. You can stab me in my arm, but my adrenaline's I'm gonna eat that, and then I'm gonna fuck you up. And again, you know, what do they do in the old fashioned? Where's it at? Let me find. What did they used to do on movies when a motherfucker got a knife? You just get something that can absorb the cuts that you can jab with, right? You know, you see them grab a towel because you want something that they can cut that'll protect you. And again, adrenaline will keep you. You may stab me in my arm because that's what I'm going to put out there. My arm and my hand, I want you to stab me. Then the next one, I'm coming over. Because it's just like boxing. If you right-handed, you open to the left hook. I mean, that's just common sense. My wife could not stab and kill me unless she drugged me and I laid down. Even my ex-wife and I wouldn't fight her. She couldn't have stabbed and killed me either. I'd have beat her ass before, but that's me. That is a sacrifice. Yeah, that is definitely damn. What is this? What is this shit here? God damn. This is some crazy shit. What? How, wait a minute, this shit, what is it? Beloved Marine chief shot to death after hiring underage sex worker. Okay, this is from 7 days ago. Okay, I'm interested. This is Crime Watch Daily. Tell me about what is this debauchery? Oh, this is long, so I ain't gonna hear too much of it.
Watch Daily from here in New York City. This won't affect you. Think again.
We found 18 kilos killed.
Okay, this is too much. Okay, I wanted to see about the chief. This is a bunch of stories. Oh, this might be him here. Oh, this might be it. Okay, let's let it go. I don't know though.
Drug counselor's son.
For a moment, I was in complete denial.
If you think this won't affect.
No. Oh, maybe him.
Right.
He's one of the guys who, if there was no salad dressing in the house or if there was no special sauce of some sort, he would make it up.
After serving his country as a U.S. Marine,
he was very proud to be a Marine.
DJ returned home and started serving up his delicious cuisine.
Before I knew it, DJ had become Chef Doug.
Chef Doug's catering company was red hot. His food famous throughout Detroit and beyond.
He's traveled to different states to do weddings, very beautiful settings, very beautiful tables. Chef Doug means something to him, means something to the city.
So on June 1st, when Chef Doug missed a big catering gig, his sister instantly knew something was wrong.
His best friend calls me and says, you talk to your brother. He's supposed to be catering for a comedy show. And the guys who are the promoters are looking for him. I said, oh, well, let me call you right back.
When Dana couldn't get her brother to answer his phone, she tried texting him.
My last text to him says, boy, you better call me as soon as you get this message.
But for the first time ever, her messages went unanswered. No one had heard from Chef Doug since around 3:30 in the morning.
And he calls his best friend and says, yeah, I'm home, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.
That phone call followed a Thursday night on the town with his buddies.
They're having a good time. They're popping bottles and, eating and drinking, and DJ, as normal, is the life of the party.
But now it was Friday night, and no one could find him. Dana went right to police.
It was my understanding that you had to wait 24 hours before you can make a police report, but maybe because I was so adamant about it being, this ain't right. So they take the police report.
The following day, Chef Doug was supposed to fly to St. Louis to cater a wedding.
He's not at the airport. He didn't get on the plane.
His cousin Camilla Henderson says that's when the family really started to panic.
He doesn't miss anything because that's what he built his
Oh, wow.
on.
Wait a minute. Let me cut back to that. Let me cut back to her, not her. This is I hate this hairdo. I call this white girl to the back. Cause Euro Asians, they wear their hair like this, where they put all the middle in the back. And I've never seen a sister wear their hair, the white girl to the back. I hate that hairstyle. But anyway, let's continue. So the nigga didn't get on the plane.
Used OnStar to locate his SUV. It had been abandoned in the neighborhood of Brightmoor, nowhere near his home.
In a vacant lot in this terrible neighborhood. Car doors open, hatch was open.
Complete strangers joined DJ's family and friends to search for the popular chef.
I couldn't keep sitting on my hands. Maybe he's somewhere under a brush of trees or something.
But all the searches came up empty. Then Dana's daughter made a startling discovery when she found her uncle's online passwords and accessed his bank account.
She told me that his debit card was being used.
James McDonald is a homicide detective with the Detroit Police Department.
We go out to these businesses and we start, looking at the surveillance footage, and you see his card being used, and it's not Douglas Calhoun.
His family didn't know it yet, but Detective McDonald had already uncovered a big clue in the case using the chef's cell phone records.
We identified his last contact number, and we recognized that at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, he's talking to this person, and then all of a sudden, the communication stops.
Turns out the phone call DJ made to his best friend wasn't his last call of the night.
That is what turned this into not a missing person, but more of a victim of a crime.
Up next, a pizza delivery breaks the case wide open.
I mean, this is the needle in the haystack.
And Dana's grief turns to outrage.
She'll never pay for what she did, for her part in it, her role in it.
After a night of partying with friends, DJ Calhoun, the military vet with a larger-than-life personality, is missing. However, his family has noticed that someone has been using his credit card.
All right, long story short, he a trick set him up and the nigga got shot. I'm telling you, it becomes like Chick became a fanatic. But again, it's not hard to program a person to be like that. I mean, especially a person under government control. Like a lot of the school shootings. Again, it's easy, you know, Manchurian Candidate is easy to activate. I mean, if you remember the original Frank Sinatra Manchurian Candidate, I think it was TV or something that triggered him. And Denzel's version is a little different, but I remember, I mean, it's trying to tell you that a person taken by the government and trained to be a psycho killer, but not remember it until they're triggered. And we know there are programs like this. And so that's probably what this was. And that's probably what the astronomy girl was. I mean, because everything about her was unrational. And that had to be like, how did he stay with her for so long and she was that irrational? I mean, there had to be signs. my ex-wife would tell you in a minute she's crazy. She won't like she's partial crazy. She'll tell you she's crazy. And she is. But you know, she's had a hard life. And you know, I'm very proud of her at this moment. I'm very proud of her. Proud of all my exes, you know. My daughter graduates next month from high school. And so, you know, and I'll just have one more left in school. I don't plan on having any more children, I don't think. My wife is 51. She can't have children at 51. Oh, I gotta show this. This shit just looks funny. I don't know. How old is this story? Oh, this shit looks funny though. How old is this shit? Let me see how old it is. A month ago. Look at this motherfucker, y'all. Oh, look at this motherfucker. He's all fucked up. Oh, it looks funny, but let's see why he's like this. What happened to him? Nigga got tire tracks on his shirt and shit. God damn, what happened to this nigga? Probably a fight over crack or something. Where'd his shoes go? Part of law if you're injured or lost. Like what knocked the nigga's shoes off? Fire rescue. Where's the stretcher at? Is that the stretcher? Gotta get that nigga a stretcher. How you on the highway hit with no shoes on? Did the car knock the shoes off? Damn, he was just walking from Target. Hit and run just for fun? I don't know if they're going to tell us anything. Somebody hit his ass. So they don't tell you anything. Woman runs man over after altercation on freeway. Okay, that's all they telling us, it looks like. Oh, okay, here we go. Maybe she tells us. Oh, she ran him over. Bitch, you going to jail. She ran him over. Any kind of car is this? Lincoln? It's like American car. Oh, they ain't arresting her. You just ran a nigga over and you don't get arrested. Okay. She looks Asian. So the Asian, you know, for hitting bums in Death Game 2000, hitting bums is 1,500 points. So I don't know what they arresting her for. Oh, I like that holster. That look like my old holster. Oh, I'm sorry. So, okay, the bitch hit him and, you know, they was arguing and shit. Oh, okay. That's just some debauchery. How long have I been going? Oh, I'm 2.5 hours. Okay, I'm probably cool. I mean, this is how they start this shit. Where's the nigga at? Like, you know, where's that shot? Where's the shot at? This is the shot. I mean, you know, this. I mean, it kind of looked like he's a junkie, don't it? It looked like he's a junkie. He got tire prints on his back and shit. I know it's not funny, but it's kind of funny. Like, she knocked the nigga's shoes off. His tire marks on. I know it's not funny, but it's kind of funny, y'all. Y'all admit it, it's kind of funny. I mean, I'm sorry that he got hurt, but overall, it's kind of funny. Just the scene of seeing him laying there, you know, it's perfectly waste. Like, you know, when I see a Euro Asian out there with a sign holding, begging for money, and I'm like, buddy, you've had everything in your favor your whole life. Maybe you had to go to war somewhere and you came back and had hard luck, but you know, most of the time, you guys get all the privileges. So I wouldn't give you a dime. Now, if I see a melanated person out there, because sometimes it be gods out there pretending like they poor people, so you got to understand that too. If you go by a god and they out there asking for money, you probably should give that god some money. But only if they're a god. I mean, that's, you can tell. And I'll give you an instance. I passed a dude and I was like, oh shit, there goes the god. So I circled around. I had to go back on the highway and circle around. Gave him a couple bucks. I was like, okay, this is what they do sometimes. It's like, okay, he recognized me. Then I was given a Rolex after that. So see how when you see the gods, if the gods is begging, you give them some money, you get a Rolex. I'm just silly, y'all. I am just really silly. That's oh, the weather here is really gonna be nice. It's gonna be mild tomorrow. And this is a big story, and I don't know if you guys hip to this, but I'm a baseball lover, and this young brother, top number one pick, his name is Jackson Holliday, number one prospect, learns he's being called up to the major leagues. He's only 20 years old, and he got called up today to play for the Baltimore Orioles. People don't understand how a lot of people get fucked around and stuck in the minors all their lives. They save money by bringing him up now because he was probably with the team during spring break, or excuse me, during spring baseball. And what they'll do is they'll cut you, and they won't bring you up. Like them bringing him up now, this won't count as his full year. He won't get a full year being called up now, I think. Yeah, because there's been, 10 games played? Let's see. What is the Minnesota Twins record? The Twins are 4-6 right now. 11 games. So maybe he made it, because I know there's a cutoff. I think it's 2 weeks, though. I think it's 2 weeks. If you're not called up in 2 weeks, they can hold you for another year of keeping you a rookie. They've screwed a lot of players like that. And again, a lot of players get locked in. They played the minors their whole career, especially a lot of foreign players. You know, they come up 15, 16 years old and never get to make the major leagues. But, you know, the good thing about baseball is you can be a millionaire and never play in the major leagues. You can be a millionaire and play in AAA ball, AA ball, AAA ball. So you can make bread, and then turn it into something else. That's all. Turn it into something else. So yeah, I wanted to shout him out. I think you're going to see him do outstanding things. So don't be surprised. But I caught that earlier. And Terrence Howard, oh my goodness, he looked had his flip. He had the Farrah Fawcett. You know, he had the Farrah Fawcett look. Like, why would you bring yourself look like that? To tell you, he's an actor. And so actors will do anything. Nuggets claw Wolves to reclaim title, yeah, but they got to win both games, and the Timberwolves got to lose both games. Timberwolves win both games, they're gonna be number one seed. So we'll see. And I might go to the playoffs. I might buy some playoff tickets. I don't know. It's been a while since I've been to playoff games. And you know it's interesting. The law officers that got hit in Mississippi for torturing the two young brothers, they also got. It's funny that the civil case ain't been paid for them two dudes being tortured, but they also got hit with federal charges, which is concurrent. So you know, it's concurrent means the same time if you didn't know. So I don't know how much. This is interesting. No other team wanted to pay him, and his daddy paid him. Matt Barnes, Steven Jackson talks about Austin Rivers' contract with the Clippers. There are various cases in the NBA where family ties exist. Often we see brothers make their way to the league and cousins make it to the league with the same era. A rare instance is father being a coach and a son being a player in the NBA at the same time is what happened with Doc Rivers and Austin. They helped big deal with the Clippers. Barnes shed lights on this contract. Barnes was on the Clippers when Robert was traded. When Rivers was traded in 2015, it was particularly noteworthy that Austin's new coach ended up being his dad. So many believed he pushed the front office to acquire him. The front office wanted to bring in more help for the backcourt ahead of the playoffs, but Doc wanted to give Austin those minutes. When Rivers got his deal with the Clippers, Barnes believed Doc paid him more in an effort to help him maximize his earning. Things got funny when the Clippers got Doc in. All the smoke and unplugged. Some say Austin was on his way out. He comes in, gets a spot. We wanted to get Nate Robertson. He didn't want Nate Robertson to come before the playoffs. I felt like he would give Austin that chance to shine, and Austin did his thing against Houston. That one game, he was killing us. What's funny is he got the bread. Austin got way more money than Jamal Crawford and J.J. Redick, which was one thing. One's putting in all the minutes and a lot of the work. And the moment I realized what the fuck's going on, now I'm like, I had an opportunity to get my motherfucking son some money. I like that too, but same motherfucking thing. So I ain't mad about it. Jancy busted. You can understand why Barnes was initially frustrated to see Austin earn a 3-year, $35 million contract, which is about 10 a year. About roughly 1.1.5. With the Clippers, despite not playing a big role as other guys. But looking back on it, he says, we have done the same thing. Another Jackson, the Clippers, he wasn't on his way out, said. No other team wanted, he wasn't on his way out. The other guy says he was. No other team wanted to pay him, and his daddy paid him. It's hard to believe between Doc and Austin, role play landing the deal. Austin played out his contract, getting a bigger rollover before he left. It's pretty notable that he didn't have a massive role with any other team he played for. Whatever case may be, Austin got paid in the end. Wow. Not surprised. Not surprised. Yeah, daddy had a lot to do with it. He didn't have a great college career that made him, you know, because what they do is they build these people up. They build these people up. And then if the people don't come up to expectations, you know, but again, you could see that when he acquired his son, that there was something shady and shaky going on at the same time. I mean, it's very obvious that, yeah. So, that's why, you know, they talk about things they can talk about. They don't talk about the fixed sports. Because again, when you look at all these ex-athletes, they're still, the majority of them are still under pension. And at 50, they get pension for life. So they're only going to say what they can say. They've sit in them rooms with them peoples, and then people say, this is what you can say. You can talk about this, you can talk about that, you can say fix refs, a little bit of fixed refs, because Donahue. They can say anything because of Donahue. So that's the lane they stay in. But they don't talk about basket manipulation, none of them. None of them talk about basketball manipulation, but they know it exists, but none of them talk about it. This is interesting. We was watching the games the other night, the semifinals on Saturday. We were all watching the game, and somebody hit a long jumper. My sister-in-law, wait a minute. That ball was going like this, and then it curved and went in. She just sitting there. My TV is super clear. Neo. But anyway, and she said it. She said that ball curved. Now, I've never shot a jump shot straight and it curved. How many of you that played basketball out there that have shot a jump shot and saw you shoot it straight and all of a sudden something make it curve? Nobody. Unless you played college ball and pro ball, where the baskets are manipulated. Now I know Division III is probably not manipulated. Probably most of Division II is not because nobody cares. But we know Division I and we know the NBA is rigged. So it's just, yeah, it's rigged. I find that interesting. Kanye West is running for president. Oh, they wanted to tell the truth about Beethoven, that he was a Moor. A rare glimpse, makeup. The musical abilities, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Because the pictures they show of Beethoven is all of a classical Eurasian, and that ain't what he looked like. He was a melanated person. Beethoven, one of the most blah blah blah. I've heard a whole bunch of living people. So reminder, manufactured talent. Oh, they're trying to say, in the DNA. Okay, it's some bullshit. It's some bullshit, y'all. It's some bullshit. What I learned working with white men in corporate America. What did you learn, baby? What did you learn? We should go to the Wild at Heart Men's Conference. Jackson, once a pastor and former Boy Scout troop leader, stood at attention, the head of the table, holding on a handful of glossy brochures about the conference. He scanned other faces, nodding either consideration or agreement with the ideas. Except his eyes never met mine. One of the six of us, I was the only woman of color in the room. A wisp of coldness blew through me. This could be our team bonding trip for the next year, Jackson continued. We'd be up the Colorado Mountains and go hiking and camping. There's a great leadership development. We'll have fun and come back better as husbands and fathers. Yeah, Jackson, that's a great idea, declared Duke, another teammate. A couple of men dropped their mouths and raised their eyebrows at Duke, who typically projected an air that great ideas can only come from him. But everyone knew Duke loved anything involving the outdoors. The idea thrilled me too. I had never been to Colorado nor places. But Jackson said it was a man's retreat. My head slowly fell as I attempted to conceal my furrowed brows. I sat motionless in my chair with a different awkwardness swelled inside me. It was a sort of uneasiness anyone might feel is expected to intelligently respond to a question without having all the information, not knowing where the other person was coming from. All I knew was mine. It was a first fall planning retreat with the team. I was somewhere in North Carolina on the rustic grounds. Okay, this is some bullshit. Crying about some stupid shit. All right, but anyway. What is this? Everyone's happy with the change to the NFL's uniform policy. The NFL has no strict uniform policy. Players have been able to wear any number regardless of position. Last few seasons, now they were given the ability to wear number 0 for the first time. Is now making another uniform change. According to NFL Network, the league is allowing teams to utilize their helmet design. The option was made only for teams going through a redesign, but every team will be able to take advantage of it. I hope the Colts don't drop the ball. Huge news. Let's go. So the new rules allow teams to be more creative with uniform combinations. She also allow for more throwback and concept uniforms to be used. Okay. People do like seeing the changes. So looks like the next football season, well, this is 24-25 season coming up. So it's going to be interesting. Warren Sapp pay at Colorado revealed as a graduate assistant football coach. So, Sapp shouldn't need too much money, but isn't he one of the ones that said he fucked all his money up? So, but Deion getting him paid. So, see how effective it'll be this season. I don't think they're going to be very effective. Damn. Unlicensed daycare owner to serve 19 years for murder and child abuse over death of a 5-month-old. Damn, that's cold. That is cold. Wow, that is cold. How ex-Celtic head coach Doc Rivers cost Nate Robertson $1.5 million. How could he do that? Stunning Revelation podcast, OG podcast, shines a light on often unseen struggles. Nate Roberts opened up a painful comment in his career that cost him $1.5 million, folded under coach of then Boston Doc Rivers. Okay. How did he? 3-time slam dunk. Detailed the situation. He explained that in this contract would include a clause that would award him $1.5 million if he played a certain number of games. However, he found himself one game short of meeting that condition when Rivers decided not to play him. That decision ultimately cost Robin the bonus. It was in my contract where I made $2 million. It's like 1.5 or something like if I played a certain amount of games. He gave me a DMP where I needed one more game to get it. And all I had to do was go in the game. Robertson shared his frustration. And before the game, I told KG, I told the team, they were like, oh man, you should go in to be because, wanted me to do it, blah, blah, blah. The incident raises question about the motives behind Rob Rivers' decision. Was it purely basketball-related choice, or were there other factors, possibly including directives from the Celtics front office? Robinson subsequent conversation with the agent reflects the ambiguity and suspicion around this event. So after the game, I go call my agent. I told him I think they did it on purpose. And he was like, well, we don't have no proof. And I was like, bruh, I came from the Knicks. I was just playing then and I don't play. That's a clear sign. Why would he give me a DNP for? I'm not hurt. I'm ready to go. And what, did Doc have anything to say with it? Yeah, I think he's got right now. I think he's going through kidney failure. 2 years of revealing diagnosis. Robin spoke openly about his consequences of not receiving treatment. I don't know how long I can get a kidney. He's not going through any treatment. Wow, he's going to die. If he's not doing dialysis, yeah, he should be doing dialysis. He should have played football. Really. I think he was all conference defensive back. And at the University of, didn't he go to Colorado? University of Colorado. So, Nike. Nike shoes. I don't want these. I wouldn't pay that much for these. That's an older pair. How much are they? 200 still? You got to be kidding. Yeah, you can get these cheaper at 200. So, well, I think I'm going to call it, y'all. I've been going close to 3 hours. Only outdoors with wind. Only outdoors with wind. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, I guess I'll give a little bit of my own opinion of things. I'm going to say this is like, it's really important to find a way to meditate. Of all the things in your life that can give you a peace of mind, meditation is one of the one things. As I tell you, I take She Legit, and it seems to enhance meditation. But you can look at foric acid, which is the main thing, and see how the benefits. There's a lot of benefits from it. It tastes nasty. I mean, I like bitter, so it's not really nasty to me. But my point is you have to learn, or you should practice a way to quiet your mind. And there are fractals that are in our DNA that are given to us. And if you do enough meditation, it will show you where you're going to go. It'll show you the fractals that are part of your home on the next life. That's the best way I can tell you. There are fractals that show you where you're going. And that's the state you have to hit during while you're alive. That's the work you got to put in. As I said before, these fractals were sent to me a year before I ever even knew what this was. It was sent to me. I was getting glimpses of this. And matter of fact, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, and I didn't have the bread to buy it. And like thinking about what it looked like after seeing it once. And then, coming back in a couple weeks later and buying, I couldn't even remember what it looked like because I'd only seen it once. But when I saw it, I was like, that's it. And so these things are gifts that we're given, that we're born with. And so meditation is really the only state you can touch that. Now, there are drugs that can put you in a state, but the best way to handle that is definitely to get in a meditative state. There's mushrooms is one example, to get on mushrooms. And, if you've been practicing meditating, it's a good thing. It will really take you somewhere and really take you and show you where you're going to go when to the next place where what's waiting for you. So that's the work you got to put in. But it's just a state of where, it's just your natural thoughts and the things that you create. Because that's another part of it is when you first close your eyes, you start creating. Like you'll see different kind of, I'll say, shapes, and you're creating them. This is part of touching your aura, because you're seeing your aura come off you when you're seeing these shapes. This is part of getting in tune with that. And it's just, to turn everything off that's going around in the world is the best example I can give you. Is you want to turn everything off. And you want to, whatever you create and whatever's in your DNA to come out. That's the best way I can tell you. And again, it doesn't have to be a long time. I mean, look at Muslims. Muslims basically meditate while they're praying. They're concentrating. And so they're meditating on Allah. Because that's where all their energy and their aim goes. They've learned to quiet their mind during these 5 times of praying. And they're locked into saying the prayer. They're locked into concentrating on Allah. So that is a meditative state that you can get yourself into. Now, it's a way of being hypnotized too. You're hypnotizing and programming yourself that there's something greater than you that's outside of you. The God is within. The good is within. It's the God in you, as Reverend Ike says. The God in you says you should be prosperous. Because we each have the ability to be gods. We can create other humans, right? So that's kind of a God ability that we can create other humans. We can help cure each other. We can cure people. I mean, like I was talking about, when you see the God and give him money, some people just like the interaction. Nobody may interact with him the whole day, but people giving him money. And you have to feel sorry for them because they're breathing in all this exhaust. Some of them is on the bridge, as you crossing over a highway. Never heard of one of them getting hit. They stay on the side. One nigga had a grill out and everything. This nigga had a lawn chair. He was grilling out. He wasn't selling hot dogs, and he had a sign said, I'm broke and poor, but yet he got a grill. He had a grill there and was grilling out while he was standing there. I just thought that was odd. But there's a lot of charitable things to do in the world. I mean, mentoring young people that deserve it. Not all people deserve it. I think Brother Nick told a beautiful story where, he was about to teach people how to weld. And one person came, And so you mentor that one person. And that's, that's how it should be. That's how it should be. Well, they say each one teach one. And the best thing about being a mentor is, you may be the only positive male role model that person sees. And, oh, okay, I got an hour of it. Okay, bet. Good. And so these are some things that are positive about you being a man. Because again, all eyes are watching you. And so there's a lot of positive things about helping other men and showing other men how to be a man and how to live up to being a man and how to fight through times. How to try to make the positive decisions. And so there's nothing that's positive. That's positive. There's a song where Anderson .Paak, and the guy was like, why are you paying for her son's schooling? He says, because I'm his father today. And I had a great stepfather. I didn't come from, I came from a broken home, but my mother got married when I was 4. They got divorced when I was 2, and they got married when I was 4. And so until I left, I had a father in the home, and I would go see my father, and he was married. And that's what I love about when my daughter comes over, that she gets to live in a father and mother kind of deal. Because my wife is not just my dad's girlfriend. It's more. She's family. She's family. And that's the importance of getting married. You become family. People don't understand that. Just living with a girl, you ain't family. I mean, you're family. What do they call it? It's like a common law wife. You're common family, but unless you're married, you're not really family. But when you become married, you become family. You did? So these are some things to consider. And just to be a kind human being is not very hard. I open the door for people all the time and people are shocked. Even sometimes, it'd be like a man and a woman. I open the door for both of them, especially if I'm ahead of them. Like my mother is the funniest. My mother, when she's with me, she knows I'm opening the door. She don't even attempt to open it. Like my wife comes sometimes she's kind of, well, is he going to open it? But my mother straight up, she know if she's with men and she's with me or one of my boys, she already knows we going to open the door for her. And she walks like a queen waiting for us to open the door. But she knows if it's me and any of my children, she already knows. That's how they're trained like that. So, but yeah, definitely, PJ, they become family. And that's the difference. And when she's like, who is this? This is my stepmother or bonus mother, whatever you want to call it. But legally, you dig? And so the families become one family. And my wife didn't have any children. And now, I got 7 children. And, my youngest son, his pile of junk is right there because he's kind of staying with us. So I'm taking this table out. I'm going to put a lot of the crystals up because he's going to be here through probably the summer. I'm pretty sure. But his best buddy lives around the corner. And when his mother goes out the country, he's going to be in her house for a week. So, and he's near his brother. His brother and my mother all live not too far from each other. But his brother lives literally up the street. So, but it's not hard just to be a good person. And there's so many things that make you not want to be a good person. I mean, there's no, it's like when it comes down to it, we're all humans and what job we do is what job we do. That's how I'll break it down. So we all have different roles and different things that we do. A lot of my thoughts I'm gonna hold. Yeah, I'm not gonna say them because I know I've been a little bit controversial tonight. This has been dropped Yeah. Like right here. My son must have been, looked like he was doing this to it. Like he was sitting down and, well, with a video game, I guess he couldn't, but something fell on this. What do you think of couples that don't get married because they don't want to sign a paper to the government? I understand that, but it still is not going to legally make you family. And when children are involved, there are common law states. I understand that, but the problem is legally you're not family. Now, and there's, again, when it comes to say you live together and have children and whatnot, when you die, again, a probate can come in. When you're married, the husband or wife gets normally what was there. But when you're not married, what do you put together to protect that one gets, the intended people get what you leave? So that's my only way to answer that is legally. I understand not wanting to be tied to the government. That's a good point. However, the way family is set up in America, you really can't get away from it. Because there's a lot of legalities that being married help with that don't being married don't. I'll say if you do this, get all your paperwork together. If you truly love this person, make sure you get a will and all the what is supposed to go to that person or your children goes to them. Because when you're not married, that can be very, very, why am I so high? That can be very, very, very iffy. So, you can set yourself up correct legally, but again, it doesn't really make you family. That's it doesn't really make you family. You can be together for forever, but it still doesn't make you family. If you go with somebody, it's a difference. They're not taking your name. Just going with a person, they ain't taking your name, right? So I understand that it's both sides to it, but I'm old fashioned. This is my technically the third woman I've married, but the fourth time I got married. I married the same woman twice. She made the same mistake over and over. And it's funny, like with women know what they want. Like at 23 years old, she knew what she wanted. She wanted to teach, she wanted to get her master's degree, and she wanted to have children with me. And we bought a house together. She still lives in that house with where my children grew up. I didn't live in it that long. Because, I married her and we were never friends. We were never friends. Like we were together from 1981 to roughly 91, 92. We weren't really friends. She didn't smoke weed. She didn't drink. And not to say, but it's just like things that friends do. We weren't friends. Now, my second wife, that's probably the biggest reason why I left my first wife to my second wife, because we were instant friends. Yes, we were lovers and in love, but we were friends. I mean, we could sit there and talk and laugh. Like my ex-wife, it's funny. My ex-wife, my first wife, my daughter's mother and I we drove up there before my daughter was born. We drove up to give the Christmas gifts to my sons because it wasn't my holiday or she wasn't letting them come for Christmas or whatever. And it was just interesting sitting with them. Now, me and my daughter's mother is like, I got my arm around her. We sitting there. Her and her husband are sitting there. They ain't said shit. They ain't sitting by each other, and they hadn't been married long at this point. They're on the couch. They're not sitting by each other. There's no body language. They're being quiet. I'm doing most of the talking just to get them to talking. Now I know her husband was probably a little mad I was there sitting up in the house that, I done fucked her in every room in the house, I'm debauchery, for sure. I done fucked her in the garage, everywhere in the house. It wasn't a place I didn't have her in the house. We even got her a few times in the basement. There was days where I just like, look, I'm fucking you over every room in the house. And she was with it. But she knew what she wanted at 23. I didn't, I didn't. I wasn't mature enough. But it wasn't for me. That was the other part of it. What she wanted wasn't what I wanted. I couldn't fulfill my prophecy. So, but regardless, she wouldn't be in Michigan, and she wouldn't be in Michigan, and she wouldn't have had the life she's had in Michigan if she didn't know me. So that's just a fact. She would have more than likely in North Carolina. Greensboro is a college town. So can you imagine the competition for teachers there? It's non-existent. It's few, because you got all these people trying to get these jobs. She had a friend, never got a teaching job. Same degree, except probably not the master's, but she was never able to get a teaching job. The only job she was able to get was daycare with a degree. She had a 4-year degree in education. Think think it was English, and she wasn't able to find a job. So that's a lot in Greensboro. Now there's others I know had great careers. Went to A&T, had great careers, but I'm saying as teachers, I don't know how many stayed in Greensboro was actually able to get jobs in Greensboro. So it was different when we came up here. They was looking for people. I mean, I subbed for a while, and they screwed me around. They said that my 100 credits didn't count. Now, make that make sense. That tells you that some individual wanted to make sure I was down. Because how can you say that you can sub if you have 100 credit hours, and then to come back and say, well, you didn't get them all in one place? What does that matter? All of them transferred to everywhere I went. Every college credit I've actually got, I think it's 120. I think I'm only a semester away from graduating, no more than a year. And they're trying to say all of them transferred, but they said because I didn't get them in one place. And I'm like, this is so ridiculous. What if I'd have went first to a junior college, then I transferred to a 4-year college? And you're saying I just did the opposite. I went to a 4-year college, and then I started taking classes that I needed at junior colleges because it was cheaper, right? So you could tell that it was somebody's real hand there, and probably the government, I'm guessing. There was a real hand there to stop me because it made no sense. It made no sense. Up to that point, I had subbed, for months. Then to say you're not going to give me a sub certificate because I didn't have all the hours were accredited. So that tells you somebody's hand was on there and said, no, we want him to suffer. And that's okay because the suffering's over. But, I'll say to the Euro-Asian, it's hard to really understand the hate-love we have with society in America. It's hard for you to understand that. It's hard for people to understand imperialism. It's hard for people to understand that. And the way they're trying to erase history, not show the murders, not showing the Euro-Asian as being a murderous group of folks. I mean, none of this, they want to get rid of all this. The way that you had people that were accepting and willing to share land with you, and it wasn't good enough. You still had to kill, pillage. So, but the one thing that America does offer, if you say fuck all that, is, do your own thing. Do your own thing. But take care of all your mental, take care of your health. Have a room in your house that's dedicated just to you. That's where they say the idea of man cave comes from. Doesn't matter if your children come in and whatnot. Have your own space where you live. You live with a woman or not, have a space still where you can just chill for a minute to get away. You get to arguing. And that's the biggest thing about maturity is like the learning not to snap back at somebody, to taking the time and analyzing, is this the time to snap back? Because I think of things, we'd be talking, I'd be like, I'm not going to say that. I'll just hold it. And remember, again, if like I've said before, like I can remember my first wife, like I would get mad at her and I'd start saying shit to her. And I remember one time a thought came, it's like something said, tell her you hate her. Again, this is that rage, that ego, but something feeding you, attachment, an attachment feeding you thoughts. Because I didn't hate her, but I knew it would hurt her. But whatever that thing is that gave me that idea knew it would hurt her too. But I didn't really, that wasn't a natural thought. Now I think back at it, I remember something feeding me that thought. Some said, tell her you hate her. So, we have all kind of attachments that feed us things. So be aware of that. Be aware of pausing before you react. Be aware of pausing before you react. I try to write the most beautiful stories for myself and my loved ones. I do have my fears and my doubts. I'm for my wife, I'm doing things that normally I wouldn't do. I mean, but I'm going to do them anyway. I'm going to do them anyway. So, but yeah, I'm at 3 hours, and so that's long enough. Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it. And as I said, I don't mean to be rude. Oh, one more thing I need to show y'all. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? What we need to know? Oh, good googly woogly, y'all. Look at gold. Almost $22,349 for the year's only close. You want $1.20 today. It doesn't give you for the year. Doesn't give you for the year. Look at that. Your gold is worth more. This is the most gold has been worth. See, 35.52. So it took a quite, what was it here? Yeah, right here. It was look at this. April 10th, it got up to 2,363. Look at these highs. So it'd have been a good time to sell gold right there. And look when it dipped. Look at the dip. The dip is only 235. So it wasn't a great dip. And then it bounced back. We went back to 2235. And then here we are at 2323. So we went up again. This is not bad. $1.25. Your gold's worth more. What I want to see, Ford. No, this is not the right Ford. Why you give me that Ford? Okay, it's the. Let's see, is it over here? This is General Motors. Where is the regular Ford? Let me see. Because usually you bring GM up, they'll put Ford up somewhere. So is this that same bullshit? Yeah, it's giving me the same one. And it's not giving me the Ford Motor Company. I forgot the initials. Bitcoin is back up to the highest it's been, 70,000. That's about where it's the highest. I don't think we've seen it over 70,000. Ethereum is around 3,500. Silver took a slight dip. What was silver today? Still, silver must have been close to 30. What was silver here? 28. Yeah, so silver still at 27. Anything over 20 for silver is gravy. Oh, here's Ford Motor Company. So I lost 48 cents. I bought in at $5. So I'm holding this Ford. I bought in at $5. I'm hoping it go to 15. That'll triple my money. But right now my money is doubled. So, and this is one to watch because they've been trying to sell United Steel to Japan. This is one to watch because they've been trying to sell. They've been trying to do this deal to get rid of United Steel to be. Japan tried, and I think they stopped the sale of United Steel to Japan. Or China. Yes, Japan. I think it's Japan. They wanted to, Nippon Denso, Nippon wanted to buy United Steel. And they stopped them. They stopped the sale. So this one would be interesting because if you see if the sale goes through or not, you're going to see these numbers change. So, yeah. So you should have this app up on your computer. Again, if you got a 401k and you're not paying attention, you don't know where your money's going. I mean, that's not financially mature. You should know where your money's going. But I'll say this. I mean, one thing we all have to really do is have self-love. That's what I was saying. When you have to have a place that's just where in your home where just, it's your thing. Like if you want to put your sports pictures up or what, everything in this room says man. You know, if you look around, everything in this room says man. There ain't nothing soft in this room. Everything says man. There's the old boy right there playing football. I know it's not clear. But everything about this room says man. And that's, you know, a place that you want. That's, you know, every man needs a sacred place. And so find a sacred place that you have. I mean, it could be when you take a shit. Put your stuff in there, have your books in there when you take a shit, if that's the only quiet place you can have. And so, and be comfortable being with yourself. A lot of people aren't comfortable being with themselves. Like my ex-wife, you know, when she put her old nigga out, she was on the hunt for a new man, because that's just the way she is. She can't live just without a man. I mean, she literally moved one out and got one in that quick. Even though, you know, her ex-man, she kind of quit. It was roommates after a while because he was fucking up so bad. So she didn't really give herself real time. I mean, she has to jump in from relationship to into relationship. It's just the kind of person she is. She doesn't like being alone. Sadly, my youngest son with her, he's kind of like that too. He don't really like being alone. But he's got better. He's gotten better because, you know, last few years being with me. Well, he's been with me since he was a little boy. So, but you got to have self-love. I mean, that's why, you know, when dressing up and looking good and buying nice clothes, that's part of self-love. Looking the part of confidence. Not looking like you've been like that guy I showed laying on the ground where it looked like you had somebody that ran over you and you got tire tracks on your clothes. That is the weirdest shit. Okay. I don't have Facebook on my computer, but I got Facebook on the watch. It's like some Facebook shit just came over the watch. But that's why you look good. That's why you buy the shit you buy. That's why you buy jewelry. That's why you buy clothes, because you're confident. You buy these clothes in confidence. I know I'm gonna look good in this shit. Man, I'm about to get this Michael Jordan baby blue jacket. I'm gonna sit away from that shit. That shit is cold. Cold. And the rest of my baby blue shit. I'm going to see Ryan Davis too. Ryan Davis. I'm going to see Ryan Davis the 19th. So I know he's gonna be funnier than the motherfucker. So I look forward to that. That's a couple weekends. Next weekend, we go see Ryan Davis. Next Friday night, I think. I want to see the first show, too, because I know he's going to kill it on the first show. So we going to the early show. We're going to go in there and, you know, have dinner and shit. I'm going to be looking extra. I'll show pictures because, you know, I'm going to be looking up in that motherfucker. What they say, every time I seen, I've got to be clean. When I come here and come on the show, sometime if it's pretty warm in this room. I got the window open because it's nice. The weather's nice up here. It was 70 degrees up here. A little windy, but 70, y'all. So it's nice. I ain't do shit. I needed to go out to the outlet to take some shit back, but I didn't feel like doing it. Probably go tomorrow. It's going to be a little cooler tomorrow. And I should have got my ass up to play pickleball this morning, but hell, I ain't go to bed till about 3 or 4. So wasn't no getting up at 8. You know, I got up about noon. I think I got up at 12:30 after staying up till 3 or 4. Like now, getting off at 3. Shit, that motherfucker be lucky if I get up before noon. But it's funny, I take melatonin, and it only keep me sleep for a certain amount of time. I'll sleep for about 5 or 6 hours, and I'll fucking wake up. And I have to make myself, you know, stay there. But confidence, you know, confidence is not thinking about. Confidence is being. You know, that's what confidence is, being confident. So it's not something you have to wish for. You just have to be. So every, you know, decision about you and the way you look in the world is confidence. You know, what they call a man's man. Are you a man's man? And most of you watching me, I'm sure you're a man's man. Not to say, you know, you don't understand, you know, the balance of having a feminine thinking a little bit, you know, I guess is the balance. But most men, you know, that's what people want to gravitate to, is manly men. And we see a society where that's, you know, that's taken away more and more. You know, it's a lot of children, especially melanated children. They're scared of melanated children being manly men. I mean, we look at ESPN and you see manly men, they get rid of them. I'm surprised Perkin and Big Perk, they don't get on him how ugly he is. He one of the ugliest men to ever be on TV. Big Perk been ugly since he was young. Look at them pictures of high school. He's a creature. He looked like the Rock Man. But and he has not given up. He's not soft looking. He's a manly man. So I'm surprised they kept him. I mean, he's ugly and he's a manly man. He's confident. Looks good in his clothes. Looks made way better than Charles Barkley. Barkley don't look good in clothes. He just doesn't. He looks good in sweats and shit, but suits, like they finally started putting a vest under him to make his coat fit him better. But you look at Barkley, he doesn't look good in suits and ties. His body is a weird, funny body. And he just doesn't look good in suits and ties. The vest helps his suit fit him better. But when he doesn't wear a vest, he looks kind of jacked up. And I don't know, I'm not against suits, but that's some Mason shit. That's the George Washington. Wearing a suit and tie is the George Washington. And there's nothing wrong with it, but I just don't like it. I prefer to wear sweats. Or I prefer to wear jeans and dressed up. I don't really like wearing dress pants. I don't like the material most of the time. I like jeans. They're universal. They're cotton. And like linen, I'm going to get some linen clothes. You want cotton on you as much as possible. You want cotton underwear. You want live things on you. That's why hemp is so great to wear. You don't want a lot of fake things like polyester, which is gasoline, basically plastic. You want cotton on you. You want your sheets to be 100 thread, 1,000 thread. You want that because cotton can heal. So the clothes you wear can heal you if they're man-made things and not a lot of this artificial shit they put out there. And that's the problem of buying cheap clothes. A lot of times cheap clothes is made out of mostly polyester. That's why I'll pay whatever it takes to buy blue jeans, especially Levi's, because everything in it is cotton, pretty much. And so you have to watch, we want to wear things that are live. But like, if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will really believe in you. Like, if you don't believe in the story you created, other people definitely won't believe in your story. So you have to create your story. And that's the beautiful thing about being alive. We create it every day. We create it as we go. I mean, can you imagine we could like working, you create so much and then you go to work and do your job. But imagine when you don't have to work. What you create when you don't have to work. You create everything. You got your own time. You're your own person. You can hustle whatever you want. You got time to do this. A lot of you, I imagine a lot of you would probably be bored not working. And I'm rarely bored. Now, I watch shit and get bored of watching shit, but just don't doing shit. I like not doing shit. Because opposite, I could be doing some bullshit job I don't like. And, as I got older, there's a lot of things I can't do. I mean, my hands are wrecked. My hands are literally wrecked. Come on. Just because I showed my hands. All right. My feet aren't that great. I'm having to ice my knee a little more when I've been active the last few days. To ice my knee at night to make it not hurt. So, being 62, going on 63, that you have these issues. I'm 230 right now, so I'm going to get back to 212. I was 212 last summer, and I'm going to get back to that by the summertime. And so I've just got to get motivated and to start playing pickleball a little more and shooting baskets. It's a hoop around. I got like 4 or 5 basketball. All of them are flat. So I got to just get a pump and pump them all up so I can just go somewhere and take some shots. And just be more active. You get on this motherfucker here and do some running. I can run on that bitch. But it's being confident, And a society that doesn't like confident, especially melanated people. They don't want you to be confident. They want to beat you down from the time you're in school till you're grown. And they hope that you got a woman that'll beat you down so you're not confident and you're a powder puff. And that has nothing to, I'm not saying anything about being gay. I'm just saying being a soft person. I saw an interesting video where the woman kept hitting this man and she hits him one time, and he's like, I think you broke my nose. Man, he grabs he makes her stop the car, and he grabs her by the hair and shit, and he's pulling on her, and she's like, I'm sorry, he's trying to kill me. But here this woman is on tape abusing this man, and finally he stopped her from abusing him. But it's funny, the moment he's pulling her hair, she's trying to get sympathy. He's trying, what about you? You just smacked this man 3 or 4 times, punched him so hard he thought she broke his nose. And so there are women out there like that that, try to run over you. I know my daughter's godparents, which they don't fuck with her anymore, but they're like that. To the man, his wife is a trophy wife. He lost his first wife or divorced her, whatever. She cheated on him, so now he got her, and he's for him that's a trophy wife. It's like he decided not to fuck with his daughter and his grandson because his wife and his daughter don't get along. So he chose his wife over his blood. See, that's a powder puff. And she runs him. She runs him. Whatever is her idea. Whatever's going on in their life is her idea. So he's a powder puff. That's what I mean by a powder puff. Running around because you don't, for him, that's the best he could ever do. And that's in his mind. I need to do everything she say because I can't get better than this. Well, he got what he deserves. He's a powder puff who want to be told what to do by a woman. You got to have balance in a relationship. One shouldn't dominate the other. Should always be balance. If you can dig it. And if you're in an unbalanced relationship, make it balanced. Sit down and tell them, hey, this got to change. This is what I don't like. Instead of me and you breaking up, this is the shit I don't like. This is the shit I like. I mean, you put it all there. So what can we do to make things more balanced between us? You dig? And you can devastate people. I broke up with one woman. Shit, about a week later, she tried to OD. She OD'd. She OD'd a week later, a week or two later. But it's like I saw behavior which I couldn't deal with. What little Sean, what Big Sean say? I don't fuck with you. And within 2 weeks, she OD'd. But I don't take no blame for that, You did it to yourself. And now that I hate to say it, she's not with us because she achieved it. She achieved ODing. I think it was back in 22 now. I think it's been, 2-3 years now. But that's life. And just matters if I'd have stayed with that chick and she OD'd while we together. Snuck in the bathroom, shot up some shit. And I got to live with somebody that just died like that. So sometimes you got to know what you accept and what you won't accept. And then stand on it. That's the best way. But all that comes from self-confidence, self-love. Yeah, I'm apologizing to my son. It just needed some oil. Still think he was up here hitting it on something, though. And see, that piece wasn't gone either. This motherfucker's still sharp as hell. Like both of them are. And I've been cutting boxes with this. And this is stainless steel. And the negative thing about getting a stainless steel knife is they're hard to resharpen. Once they get dull, you can't really sharpen them. You got to really work hard to get that edge back. And most of the time you can't. Like this little knife here is stainless steel. No, is this carbon? No, this little knife, this is a buck knife. So this might be carbon. I'm not sure. Made in China? No, it ain't a carbon knife made in China. And this gets relatively sharp. I got to get another whetstone. Yeah, see, it's not even, and you can see this where I've tried to sharpen this. That's why when you get knives, get carbon steel knives. They retain the sharpness longer. The edge. That's the word I was looking for. I'm a knife guy. I'm a knife, gun, rifle, sword, axes, all that shit. I like it all. I love all type of weapons. When I was younger, my body used to be a weapon. It's interesting where life is serious, and yet you should enjoy it. Enjoy it too. As serious as it is, you still should enjoy yourself and believe in yourself. Because James Brown used to have a song say, "Look at me, you know what you see. You see a bad mother." And that's, like when I'm gonna get you sucker, and he said every man, every superhero should have his theme song. That's for each and every one of us. We should have our own little beat that we move to, our own little music that we, as we walk and we got our fine threads on, our fine, as they used to say, when we got our fine vines on, I don't know if y'all know they used to call clothes vines, and you got your fine vines on, and you walk out and it should be something walking and it should be a beat there. It'd be like, look at me, you know what you see? You see a bad mother. That's how you should feel about yourself when you walk around. That's what they should see. Like, oh shit. Like when I'm walking around here in fur coats and shit, you think I care what a motherfucker think about me because the way I'm carrying it.
It's 3:44.
The way I'm carrying it, they see that, I'm confident wearing it. Now I ain't gonna wear a fur coat when it's 80 degrees outside. That's stupid. I'm not that kind of crazy. But life is good. It's just interesting the directions people take and the pettiness that people go through. I think these people, some people, how do I want to put this? I don't know. Some people are just, they don't like to be made fun of. I guess they like to talk shit about everybody else, but they don't like to be made fun of. Nothing I can do about that. Because the shit I do is funny, and that's all. There's no harm of what I'm trying to put out there. But some people don't like to be made fun of. And they look at something you do as making fun of them, and they have attitude about it. And all you can do is say, okay, you got attitude about it? Cool. You was probably fake cool with me to start with. Because that's what I get from some people. I can see we were cool, but it was always a fake cool. It's like when when you know people and there's just something fake there, like the person can never be, you never seem to get something genuine from them. It's like the whole time you're dealing with them, you can tell there's a fakeness there. And the longer you know them, it's a more and more fakeness. You see more and more of a fakeness there. And then you know some of their personal shit, and you're like, oh. You're like, oh, okay. It's one thing to be on this camera, but life is out there too. So, all right, I'm gonna cut it. I'm over 3 hours. Tomorrow, I don't know. I'm definitely not coming on Friday. Maybe tomorrow. So tune in at midnight, depending on how I feel. The NBA games are bullshit this time of year, so I don't know. But maybe we'll see. So check and tune in to see if you see me tomorrow night, because Wednesday, Thursday is my normal night. But I get lazy and I get to watch the movie because I might go downstairs and finish watching Equalizer 3 for about the 10th time. I love Equalizer 3. Roberto is better than John Wick. He is better. Roberto don't get hit. John Wick get pushed off of buildings, get hit by cars. I want to get me one of them suits, though, like they had in the John Wick movie where the bulletproof suit. Just hold it up and it's bouncing bullets off. All I got to do is hold my arm up. All right, y'all. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for the comments. The comments are so cool. I appreciate the comments and the love. This has been the Chocolate Mountain Show. I've been your host, Flint